Blessed love, my Lord and Empress, give thanks for life and the mighty life giver, Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. This is the African Liberation Network. I'm the host, Prophet Daniel, and this is the Bobo Shanti International Study Group. And today's topic is love and respect. Yes, as we come into the new year soon. So at this time, I'll give it over to the Honorable Leading Priest, Dougie, to open the program with a prayer. Bye.
Yeah, greetings, family. Let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O thou most high. Holy Emmanuel, I. Bind our hearts together, Father, in one creation, Lord. Let us be as thou art, in humility, in respect, and in love, through thy will and thy mercy. Great God of Zion, Jehovah, Ras, bless all.
My Lord, give thanks for those words. Yes, Jah. So yes, the topic for today is love and respect. King Emmanuel, the Black Christ in flesh, he's called the God of love. When he was asked, what is his most important message to the international community, he said love, so, and when we read the Bible, Christ said that all the laws and prophets' commandments hang on love. Love is the most important, aspect of the message of salvation. And love really is supposed to govern the Ethiopia-Africa Black International Congress. And, through ones and ones, all of us, at times, going through things, sometimes we forget about love and it causes problems. Yeah, and respect as well, when we are disrespectful, obviously that's, that causes a problem when you don't respect people's rights, when you don't respect people as, as equals, when you say, words that stir up anger and, things like that, it doesn't create a good environment, so these two words, these two concepts are very important in human interaction as we deal with one another, because really, if we had love for each other as humans, there would be no war, and there would be no fighting, and the treatment that we see, amongst people, the bad things that we do is not love, So with that being said, I'll just kind of open up the floor. Ones and ones, if you have something you wanted to say regarding love, anything you want to highlight, King Emmanuel, his message, we are to love ourselves. Even Marcus Garvey taught us to love ourselves as Black people. But in general, people all over the world have to love themselves. If you can't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. And I think, for people of African descent, one of the most loving things that you could do is to have a God that looks like you, and represents you, and is represents, but it's like your reflection, when Marcus Garvey said, see God through our own spectacles. So your God must look like you. If you love yourself, you wouldn't look outside of yourself. Yeah, and self-respect, the way you carry yourself, the way your principles, things like that, the way you live is signs of self-respect. Yes, and you can see when you look at people how much they care about themselves or don't care about themselves. Yeah, and as representatives of Christ, we are to carry ourselves in the highest regard, as we say, we're man and woman of right, God and goddess in flesh. Then we have to, have a certain level of self-respect and respect and love towards our brothers and sisters to really shine that light, to be, because the darkness is the hatred, the fear, the war, the disrespect, so the light is love, and respect. But anyway, I don't want to talk too long. I would just open up the floor if anyone has anything they want to say. I'm going to find the definitions for the words love and respect, but I'll leave the floor open for a while.
Yeah, give thanks. As a matter of fact, that is exactly what I was coming to. Both words, have the same, similar definition. Deep affection for, respect is having deep affection for someone or something. Love is the same. Again, deep affection for or towards. So they contrast. They complement each other on that level. From you have love, you're going to have respect. From you have respect, you're going to have love. So it's one and the same. So, yeah. Give thanks.
Yes, my Lord. So here we have, the definition of the word love is a noun and a verb. The noun, an intense feeling of deep affection, a great interest and pleasure in something, a person or thing that one loves. All right. Now the verb, that means the action, feel deep affection for someone, like or enjoy very much. Yes. So, if we love our brother, and our sister, it doesn't mean, necessarily a romantic kind of love, or, and it doesn't imply that there's sex involved. It doesn't imply that there is even intimacy involved. It just means, you care about people. If you love someone, you wouldn't want to see them hurt. You wouldn't want to do something to them that would make them feel bad about themselves. You wouldn't want to make them cry. You wouldn't want to, you would want to see them being their best self, doing well and being happy and healthy. Yeah. And even as I say, as parent, there's different types of love. There's love from parents to children, or, brother to brother. There's love, like, married people love. There's love for things, that are inanimate. There's love for ideas, all of these different things. But when we're talking about, when King Emmanuel says love, he's talking about brother and sister love, showing the same love that God shows to us, that Christ shows to us, where he, no matter how many times in our life where we may err and do wrong, his mercy endures forever, and there's always grace and forgiveness, and when we amongst ourselves have to live that way, because every one of us is capable of doing wrong, and sometimes intentionally, sometimes we didn't mean to, but it's still wrong. But now, as a brother or as a sister, it's to us to have forgiveness, understanding, and not so much judgment and vindictiveness, spitefulness, grudge, all of these things that really tear apart the structure, the human, the chemicals that it puts out into your body is destructive, to hold on to a grudge, to always be angry about things that happened in the past. God forgives us when we sin, when we do wrong, no matter how wrong it may be. There's always forgiveness. Yeah, we do have to rectify ourselves, It's not just to say we just have to keep forgiving people when they do the same thing over and over to us. Yeah. But, in reality, it's one of the hardest things to do. Like when Christ says to turn the other cheek, you know, it's not to say if somebody slaps you in your face, you're really going to turn your cheek and let them slap you again. But it's more so to say, you know, just forgive them and give them another chance, even though they did you wrong, you know. But of course, with understanding, you know, you wouldn't give them access to hurt you again the way they hurt you before. You'll protect yourself the next time around, but we don't condemn. He said, condemn no one and let no one condemn you, you know? So within love, we just have to have the forgiveness and allow people to rectify themselves and have another chance. And sometimes it takes more than one chance, especially with children. You know, you love your children, you want to see them have the best and be the best. So you would always be patient with them and slow to anger, you know? But anyway, I'll turn the floor over. Prophet
Yes, my Lord.
Prophet Brimstone had his hand up, and then Empress Cindy. But if Empress Maisie, if you want a reason, you could go. You're the elder.
I just want to say a few words here, Bobo, if I may.
We're calling Jaron and then Empress Cindy after the I go through.
May I?
Yes, I go through.
Yes, give thanks again, man. Great God on in Egypt. And I better come and see Most High last year. Ja? Rastafari. Yes, I give thanks again as we gather, you know, reason better than preaching, reason one to another to get more knowledge, you know, and understanding from each other as we go along in this glorious reasoning morning. Most High Selassie, Ja.
Rastafari.
Rastafari. Yes, big topic, love and respect. But of course, why not? My Lord, in everything, first of all, you have to love yourself.
Yes.
And respect yourself. Right? Self come first in everything. Yeah? But the Father said, if you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. Yeah? And if you don't respect yourself, then you cannot respect nobody. So the first of all, the respect have to come from you, the individual. See? And then you can respect your brother and respect your sister because you are living respect. Eh? And you are living love. So when I want to see you, you know, you say, yes, sister so and so man, that Empress man, have respect and love, man. Because her life or his life that he or she lives, live within respect and love. So they are shining the light, you know. Yeah, and ones will have to respect them because they live respect, them is respect, and them give respect to each other. So what we have to, you know, out of everything, we have to first respect ourselves and love ourselves. Right? If we don't do that, then we cannot minister love to no one at all because we doesn't love ourselves. And we are first, right? Every man and woman upon this face of this earth is first. So you have to, you know, yeah. Yes, so give thanks again, my Lord. That is my few words for now. Glorify, you know, each and every one. Jehovah,
Rastafari. Beautifully said, Mama. Beautifully said. Beautifully said, Mama. Yes, beautiful. Love it.
Thanks, my Lord.
Blessed, blessed. This is Jaron speaking.
Yes,
you know, we give thanks for life and to the mighty creator of life, Jah Rastafari. Blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Yes,
blessed love, my Lord.
In the creed, it says, teach us love, loyalty on earth as it is in Zion, right? So we like the Empress said, Omega said, it starts in the home, mentally, spiritually, and then it will come out in the physical. So at the end of the day, it just goes back to repetition of right. You know what I mean? Once you love self and you practice love to self, you can show that to others, and it will show in the physical. You know what I mean? So I work security, and everybody's like, oh, blessed love, blessed love. I love when you work, because you give us momentum. We have a bad day and we feel the love and the spirit that you give out. Are you always positive? Well, you must stay positive in this negative world because the world is balanced, right? So if you have love, then then there's going to be people out there that shows hatred. You know what I mean? If you have positivity, then there's also going to be negativity out in the world. So we are the followers of the Black Christ, of Dada, Holy Emmanuel, King Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So we get the teachers from His Imperial Majesty. We don't want the double philosophy. So once we show love, you know, we can give that respect, because in this world, as experience, you know, in America, people want love but don't know how to respect, and then people want respect but don't know how to show love. That is balanced hand in hand. Blessed love.
My Lord. Yes, I give thanks. Next is Empress Cindy, and then Honorable Priest Jermaine. Empress
Blessed
Cindy.
love,
Yes,
blessed love, my Lord and Empress.
Yes, I.
So my thoughts on this topic is that I feel that when it comes to love from the Father, that is an unconditional love, just like how we have unconditional love for our children. Now, when it comes to loving your fellow brothers and your sisters, there seems to be some kind of problems with that, because we love we're supposed to love unconditionally, but we always find faults or reasons for us not to love a person. And I agree with Empress Maisie with what she just said. I think that, you know, self-love is the most important kind of love that you should have for yourself. That way you can know how to love other people. But in this society, we're not taught how to love unconditionally. We're taught to love with conditions. So yeah, that's what I have to say. Give thanks.
Yes, I.
Good point.
Honorable Priest Jermaine, my Lord, you can unmute.
Blessed love, my Lord, Holy Emmanuel, the last.
Bless, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, blessed love, my Lord. Let's give thanks for yet another blessed, beautiful day.
Mhm.
Yes, I would first love to greet everyone with the heart of celebration as well, too, you know.
My Lord.
Give thanks for, you know, the celebration coming in and, you know, such forth, you know. And give thanks for such a mighty topic today, same way, too, you know, based on love and respect. You know, the man teaches, you know, 7 words of love. God is love, let us all love, you know.
Mhm.
Myself, love is the first commandment that hangs our laws and principles and govern commandments, you know. So we give thanks for the love that the Black Christ have teach I and I within I and I, you know. Most High, Selassie,
Yeah. Rastafari.
Rastafari.
There's even one songwriter did say RESPCT, you know. Tell me what it means to me, you know. Yeah. So we give thanks, you know, that we could even love and respect with one another, you know. So let it start with I and I as a people, you know, because that is what has been broken down. You know, that first love for one another. And like what Empress Maisie did say, you know, love for yourself first, you know, and then you can love others, you know. Yes, my Lord and Empress, you know, I will let that be a few words till, you know, for now until, and I can chime in again, you know.
Oh, my Lord. Thanks. Yeah, the Honorable Empress Cindy brought up unconditional love, you know. And that's, you know, that's where we as humans find it hard, you know, because it's like, it's always a if, like she said, conditions attached. And that's, you know, not what the Father shows to us. Yeah, and, you know, international morality, like His Majesty Haile Selassie I was a big advocate for international morality, and that's hangs upon love, you know. Yeah, people have to, regardless of where they are, they have to have respect for each other. They have to have love and, yeah, forgiveness, even amongst nations and things like that. There's been so many things that's been done to people, but yeah, you couldn't just fight it out every time. Sometimes you just have to like really apologize and really mean it and not do the thing again. And the people have to try to work things out, have peace, you know. But Yeah, the floor is open. Feel free to chime in, anyone.
Yeah, them say respect you earn,
Mm-hmm.
something that you earn. So, you know, it's more than just the unconditional love. The unconditional love is unconditional. That is the Christ love. But the respect now, when you take the respect by itself, according to how society set it and how we have been taught, it is something that you have to earn. Now that comes through liberty, through how and I live. How and I live as an individual, and how and I live with others. How and I coexist. That means how you treat your brother and your sister. You know, are you your brothers and sisters keeper? You know, do you exhibit that Christ love, that selfless love? That is what the unconditional love is that selfless love where I and I is willing, as the man is, to make that ultimate sacrifice on behalf of I and I brothers and sisters. Yeah. Give that.
Yes, my Lord.
Blessed love.
Blessed love,
Give
my
thanks
Lord.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my Lord, give thanks for the heart of celebration coming in for one and all, Yeah, the last reason for our whole year now, so hoping that, all our aspirations, come forth in this new coming year, all our dreams and our hopes, all what we are chanting for. Hope we can get, one day nearer or 1 year nearer, Give thanks. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari. Love and respect,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we must have this thing, We must have this with us all the time, Must ever be embedded in us, And this is a natural thing still, It's not something that we really have to get taught, Because we come out of our mother's belly, God give us that love. And through the ways of the world right now, we learn evil, and we can't separate love from even hate,
Mm-hmm.
So you have different levels of love, like, the I, bring out the definition. So you would see that there's different levels. So in terms of unconditional love, we should have that for one another on a general level, But you see, I and I, as we become closer, we start to have different levels of love for each other, like just like you have your empress and you have a different level of love for her, and you have your close brethren as Bobo, who you could talk to about anything, yet still you still love everybody. And you might see a certain thing about a priest or empress that you find your love, you love this about them, and that make them earn a even more respect, Like you hold that level of thinking that anything they say might be right. And sometimes when we find out, that I want mislead us and these things there, it causes us to lose that love, and therefore lose the respect, and sometimes show it, Sometimes we say things and, burn a fire here, and yeah, we lose that love, and in effect, we lose even the general love now, the first love that we should have kept, that unconditional love, that human being love. And that is the love I find really come to talk about, because, one within themselves now would have to know that if you are showing these love powers in this area, you have to keep it up. You can't keep no folly, So that is more personal. But this unconditional love now, Jah show we this all through him life, all through his works. And it's just us to keep up that. But just wanted to share, a hymn that Jah left with us, you know, in the chorus book, the only hymn in the chorus book, you know, and I don't find we sing it. I never really sing it amongst Bobo, but I've heard it, you know, out in the world, you know, and from his I and I hymn, we can put it in a 1-2, you know, the golden rule, you know. Yeah, and I feel that if everyone takes this into account, you know, that the golden rule by treating others, you know, the way you would want to be treated, because as we already established, we need that first self-love. You know, you need love for yourself. Now, if you love yourself, you want others to love you too, because you don't want nothing bad to happen to you. And if you want others to love you, you would have to have that mutual love now. So you would have to treat them the way you would want to be treated, and look at their circumstances and treat them the way you would want to be treated in their circumstances, you know. So if you see somebody say they're hungry outside, you know, or they are struggling to walk, you can't think that, well, you have 2 legs and, you know, you love yourself, so you go walk. You have to think, say, if you didn't have no legs or you were struggling to walk, you would have want somebody to help you, although you're not going through that yourself. So by having self-love, we look into the needs of others and display our love now for ourselves through others. And when others see that, because we never know when we will need help, you know, when we'll be in a circumstance where we need others, you know. Because even this week, this Friday, you know, I did get licked up with you know, I had a tire problem, you know, one wheel problem, and I did get stuck in some mud too. And, you know, as I was about to leave, one angel come with a big 4x4 and help me out, you know. So I never know him. I'm probably never going to see him again in my life, you know. But these kind of things will help us, you know, move on in life and help others. And this is what the world generally has lost. And, you know, the effects of the world is affecting I and I as a Congress. And we could see the same thing going on with us, that, you know, that desire to love and respect each other. So we can bring that back, you know. We just have to love ourselves and show that love, you know, through others, you know, not just through ourselves, you know, because that would be, you know, that would be selfish, you know. So by loving yourself, you know, we have to show that really through others, my lord. So that's my few words, you know. But the hymn, you know, I think is, let me share it with the item. It's 238, you know, chorus 238, you know, and it goes, never lose the golden rule. Never lose the golden rule. Keep it still in view. Keep it still in view. Do to others as you would. Do to others as you would. They should do to you. They should do to you. Kindly, gently, kindly. Gently in the burden, bear apart, meekly, chiding with a loving heart. Holy Emmanuel, I Selassie, Jah,
Yeah.
Rastafari. Give thanks, my Lord and Empress. Bless the Lord.
Yes, my Lord. Give thanks for sharing that. All right, we have 3 hands raised. Prophet I know Jah, and then Prophet Brimstone, and then Empress Cindy. Prophet I know Jah, you can unmute yourself, my Lord.
My Lord and Empress, Prince and Princess, heart of celebration. Give thanks for the Black Christ, you know, New Year. Give thanks, you know, for the joy within and to be free from sin. Most High, last year. Yeah. Rastafari. Give thanks. Yes. A lot of things have already been covered on the topic, but, you know, I would, you know, add or share. Now, is to do some mover, right? We know that. Spec, what I mean. Now we have spectacles, but spec is like expectation. You see it? Because it'll really come to that when it comes to respect.
what you expect of someone, even of yourself, as the self-love realm done already been spoken of. So as the Empress did say, even how it has a, tolerance of love towards your children. And as grown people now, we expect a lot from one another in the sense of, little simple things like when we speak, the Black Christ teach us how to speak uprightly towards one another. So we would have the, equilibrium of what you call peace amongst one another. You see it? So you wouldn't kind of, we would say, get out yourself when it comes to certain matters. We would always try to, reason with the God in ourselves. So my take on it is, we expect a lot from one another. And, it has been spoken that if you do unto others, that is the same thing you have done unto yourself. So every time we speak a word, every time we feel a feeling, we have to remember the head where we control, where the head that controls us is the Emmanuel head, the Emmanuel head. So every time we look at a one, because I live in an area where you see all type of thing. You will see you two look like they done gone, but because of you remember the position you were in life as a street man or wherever, you kind of have a different outlook upon watching that. You could be like, yes, sir, you man, everything blessed. And then they might respond to you in a respectful way. But if we are judge it, with what we call, we just judge it. Because one of the chapters say, make sure you pull the mote out of your eye, if we're going to judge. Because you can't judge. And don't get me wrong in that. We should be able to judge to see if Babylon falling, how to prepare ourselves, you see it, and get out of Babylon way, and go to the promised land and, all these levels of things. So my word is, is like a kind of expectation when it comes to respect, because if you expect good of yourself, an expectation only come from the Lord, the Most High, you see it? So that's how we have to see it. Just to add towards the topic of respect is when we look at one another and we share with one another and we reason with one another, is how much we could tolerate from one another. If we expect too high of one another, that's the bring what a disappointment. But if we understand, one another really, we could see, okay, this person on a part of learning, coming up, their words might not be too extravagant, but yet still we have a respect where we could see that the person is trying, as a priest, right? Look at the bright side of things, you see it? So give thanks, for the moment, to speak a little words and, our strength, our power, our heart of celebration. My Lord and Empress, give thanks.
So give thanks, Honorable. Prophet Brimstone, my Lord, you can unmute yourself.
Blessed love, blessed love.
Yes, sir.
So yes, with love, I would like to piggyback on what I know Josh said as well, with expectations as well. A lot of people go with expectation because they feel entitled off their titles as well with love. You know what I mean? So if you have a son and he dislikes the way his mom handled things, he might say, "Oh, I hate mommy," or something like that. And you just teach him, "No, you don't hate mom." You know what I mean? Or you don't hate your friend. You know what I mean? Because you know love. So all you can do is dislike the ways, just like expectation. You might expect something from somebody, but you shouldn't. You should just see the potential in others. So that goes back to observe to see what you deserve, because again, we have the world of right, and then we also have the world of wrong. So it's balanced. You want your circle to be just like you, So when we look at each other, if John Ron look at John Daniel, I see the Christ. I'm looking in the mirror. You know what I mean? So that's what you should do with your children, significant others. Also your circle around you, because iron sharpens iron. So if you know love, you will show love and you will teach love. And love will continue to grow because its unity is coming together and tenacity is to hold strong. Blessed love.
Lord, yes, sir. Honorable Empress Cindy, I can unmute.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress, and also do give thanks for the heart of
Love to
celebration.
speak after Sister Cindy, man.
Okay, Empress. Empress Cindy, we can't hear you that clear. Maybe come closer or something. I can.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Can you hear I now?
I mean, I can hear you, but it's real low, the volume.
I don't know why.
But you can go through. You can go through. You can still hear.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Yes, I'd like to give thanks for the heart of celebration coming through. I would like to understand that the Honorable Priest Dougie mentioned a little while ago when it came to respect, because I wasn't so clear on where he was going with that, because when we're speaking about respect and unconditional love, he stated that
I don't know if
respect
she
is
ever
earned.
just with Sister
So
Cindy.
if respect
You
is
can't
earned,
hear her.
Empress, I can kind of hear the eye still, but the volume is really low, and I don't want what you said to be missed. She said she's gonna call in again. All right. So Empress Maisie, you can go through, and then whenever Empress Cindy comes back on, we'll give her the floor.
Okay, my Lord, give thanks again, man, for this moment. Yes, listening to my beloved brothers, them, and sister. Yes, there are many different type of way of love still, different type of love still manifests itself. But into my days growing up, as a child, we used to see Rastaman, and looking at those brethren from in the days coming up and the brethren them now. There are two different type of love, because we used to get true love, from the Rastaman them. You understand? Those brethren that I grew up and see as a Rastaman. Yeah, them man they did that push love. Can you see, and respect, see. And even though we never really check for Rasta within them time, because we were afraid of them, but they always greet, us with love. You understand? And putting them Rasta man to these brethren now. It's real different, You don't have to do no one nothing, for him to dislike you. And the love when did that for you just gone. You understand? No little compassion, no little grace. You just have to say something and probably not like what you say. It's a problem, There's no love amongst ourselves, even in the Bobo camp right now. As a daughter, we grew up in the camp, may I tell you. Your mother's jaw, keep an eye, because this moment you're not bridging is all right. And the next moment him turn like a green lizard by you. But the love gone. That means that there was no love within him for you. You understand? You don't have to do any a man or a woman something. And the love just turn. You understand?
Empress.
And we were created with the love. You know, understand? Love is the first commandment. So our love that, we were created shouldn't turn no matter what. No matter what happened. You should have little love and compassion for your brother or your sister. Because our Father is love. And our Father teaches love. You understand? So we Bobo Shanti, brothers and sisters, should be manifesting love and not speak about it, because it's easy to speak, but it is hard to do. I'm not going to say it's all of my brothers them still, you have enough Bobo Shanti right now where you just minister love, and them can't stop because, you understand? But you have some of them, man, may I tell you, me bear it, me go through it. Me have to wonder if these brethren have any God within them. And find them have God within them supposed to have the love. Because God is love. You understand? God is love. So enough of us doesn't understand what the word love mean. Yeah? It is not just, oh, yes, I love you. Love is a action and a doing word and everything. And as I said before, there are many different types of love. I give thanks, my Lord, blessed love.
Blessed Empress, give thanks. When you said somebody turned like a green lizard on you, what did that mean? How's a green lizard?
Pardon me?
How is the green lizard? Like, what did you mean by
Said Daniel is just a matter of speaking.
Okay.
All right, you and a brethren is good, eh? You never hear them kind of speaking. You and a brethren is good, or a sister is good, Ja Daniel, right? And the moment little thing come up, you come and like it, you never know this man.
Mm-hmm.
Him turn from love to hate. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Give thanks, Empress.
Yeah, Jadane, she, you know, a green lizard is a chameleon.
Okay.
Chameleon. So it changes to, you know, on a dime. Yeah, so that's what she's saying. In a second, a green lizard, a chameleon lizard can change from one color to another color to assume the identity of whatever it's on, you know, as a form of camouflage. So yeah.
Thanks, Priest Dougie.
Yeah, give thanks for clearing that. Yes,
I'm on. Let me just. I kind of heard a little what my Empress there, Sister Cindy was saying, and I got what you're saying. What I meant about earned respect, Sister Cindy, is yes, you have general respect for all life, everyone. You don't know anybody, you have respect for them right off the bat. But there's earned respect. You know, you're living in a space, you meet a person, and over time, by the standard of how that person live, how they treat others, how caring they are, how, you know, concerned and compassionate they are, you build a level of respect for that person versus another person that just stays about themselves and about their own thing, and they show no empathy or no concern about someone else, you know. So it's on that level, you know, I'm talking about true livity. Every day, you know, we live together, we know each other, especially you're living in a camp environment. You know your colder brothers and your colder sisters. You know you're more compassionate brothers and sisters, you know, and for those, you have a certain level of respect, you know, more respect, because you know that they put out, to whom much is given, much is required. So it's a reciprocity, you know. Yeah, give thanks.
Yes, my Lord. Yeah, I'm looking at I'm a Prophet Brimstone, I'm gonna call in the eye. Just on the topic still. If you look on the screen where it says it has 3 definitions of respect, it's 3 different types of respect. The first one, a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. So like you would have a high level of respect for, say, King Emmanuel or His Majesty Marcus Garvey, Empress Menen, because of the work that they did. And not just them, you know, plenty of others still that have done great works in their life. You have a certain respect for them. But then if you see number 2, it says due regard, meaning that it is due, like how as humans, you have like respect is due, you know, you have to give respect to people. It's like standard, you know, for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. So there's 2 different types of, so the first one is something that's earned, you know what I mean? That the work or the character of someone earns a certain level of respect, whereas the other one is standard and across the board. And it's not by merit, it's just natural, like your human rights, inalienable rights. They're you know, it goes this without saying. If you don't give that form of respect, then you're out of line. So
right.
Yes, Prophet Brimstone.
I would love to be here, Sister Cindy, come forward and express her sound, get a clearer view of what, you know, she was not understanding, or, you know, her view of the whole concept.
Yes, my Lord.
Blessed love.
Blessed love, my Lord.
Yes, you said the word, you said natural. You know, love and respect is supposed to be natural, for that is the first commandment, right? So natural go with nature. That's why as Bobo, you know what I mean?
We wrap our hair as well because we love everything. We should love the world as well. So we do not pollute because pollution is all in all different types of shapes and forms, you know. So we wrap our hair because this spiritual warfare is balanced. You got wicked spirits, you got good spirits, right? So once you once you know love, you can show love. Oh, don't litter, you know, that's a cat right there, that's an animal, that's a bug right there. So you have to be that example. People be like, oh, you a boss. Nah, not a boss, I'm a leader. You know what I mean? Because a boss tells you what to do, but a leader, just like King Selassie, Empress Man, and John Marcus, Messiah Garvey, you know, Dada, they showed us how to do it. In order to be a successful leader, you must be a successful follower. You must follow what is right. So there's people out in the world that, because of the poverty and the situation that we're in, you know, they might not even been shown love. You know what I mean? So all they know is hate. So us as members of the Black Christ, we have to show that. So now once you know better, you could do better. So now the world goes back to doing better, because right now people have that crab in the barrel mentality. They see somebody go up, they pull them down, because jealousy is envy, and envy leads into hate. But if people know self again, they will know love. Blessed love.
My Lord, give thanks for the word, sound. Empress Cindy is back on the program. Empress, we would love to hear what you had to say.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Give thanks for the eye liberation coming through. Heart of love, my Lord and Majesty. I wanted to overstand the comment made by Honorable Priest Dougie when he mentioned respect being earned and how that correlates to unconditional love. Because if I have to earn respect from someone, that's based on a condition. So let's say if I don't do anything to earn your respect, does that mean that you will not love me? And also, I wanted to add to what I just said, that King Emmanuel, the Black Christ in flesh, was a respectable man. He had haters. I'm sure he had haters and people that didn't like him for whatever reasons that may be. But he was a respectable man, and he showed love for everyone. He didn't base it off a condition or this and that. He loved everyone. And that's all I have to say. Give thanks.
Give thanks, Empress. Priest Dougie, did you want to respond?
Yes, I guess she wasn't listening previously, as you have defined from the dictionary, and that is where we are coming from with the reasoning. You have different levels of respect. The unconditional love is the unconditional love. That's unconditional. Okay. The respect, the general respect is you don't know a person, you respect a person, you know. But then there's that other levels of respect by getting to know the person and seeing the divine levels, how that person live. You know, like I said, that compassionate and caring way, that selfless way. You see that Christ-like persona, you know, on a high level in that person. You develop a certain respect for that person. So it takes you to a next level of respect now, from just that general respect for everyone. Because you see that this person is not just a general person. He or she, they are making an effort to be that example. So you give them that example, love and respect. So it takes it a different level up. It's a, you know, I guess the definition from the dictionary kind of coins it the best way.
So did you get that, Empress Cindy? Does that clear up what you
Yes, I give thanks, Honorable Priest Dougie.
All right. So I'm going to take a moment, you know, give some examples of self-love, and then I'm going to also correlate them to how you could extend that same love that you have for self to your brother, to your sister, to your children, to your parents, to your elders, you know? All right. So these are some self-love practices. So start each day by telling yourself something really positive, how well you handled a situation, how lovely you look today, anything that will make you smile. You know, if you do that for yourself, you know, it makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you content with yourself. You love yourself. And when you tell a person, if anybody told you how well you handled a situation or how good you look, that makes you happy, you know, it uplifts your spirit, so that you're using the word as a way to build, you know, and not tear down. So you could do that for yourself every day. Fill your body with food and drink that nourishes it and makes it thrive. If you eat junk food, you know, you are what you eat. So you're not loving yourself. If if you love yourself, you'll give yourself the best that you can possibly give yourself within reason. You know, you don't live outside of your means, but you know, the best that you can afford to give yourself, that's what you put in. Yeah, and you exercise, you take care of yourself. That's how you love yourself physically. And for, you know, your brothers and sisters, you give them, if you're feeding them anything, you give them something that's healthy for them same way. You wouldn't want to give them the worst. You eat good and give them the worst, because then you're treating them less than yourself. Number 3, move that gorgeous body of yours every single day and learn to love the skin that you're in. You can't hate your way into loving yourself. So, you know, dance uplifts the spirit. Even exercise, you know, is good for your structure. Loving the skin that you're in, meaning, you know, however you look, whatever hair you have or don't have, or, you know, how tall or short, or, you know, however you look, you love yourself, and you're happy with yourself, even because you know you're always striving to do better. If you're unhealthy, then you're gonna be working on yourself because you love yourself. In the same way, for your brothers and sisters, you make them feel comfortable with how they look, you know, and how to make them feel. Your children especially, you know, you want to give them words that make them feel like they're the most beautiful, or at least that they're beautiful. They don't have to feel more beautiful than anybody else, but you want them to be secure with themselves, you know. Don't believe everything you think. There is an inner critic inside of us trying to keep us small and safe. The downside is this also stops us from living a full life. All right, so don't limit yourself. Yeah, don't think of what you're not capable of doing. Just build yourself, and don't criticize yourself too much. You know, I find myself doing that a lot, and it's, you know, I work on it still. And don't criticize others. You know, people are living their lives and having experience. Sometimes they might falter, but you know, if you're gonna give it should be constructive criticism, and you should deliver it in a way that they can receive it without getting angry. And if you really deliver it in the best way you can, but they still get angry, that's not on you, that's on them. You know, you don't try to hurt nobody with the truth, but you also want to give them the truth so they know. Surround yourself with people who love and encourage you. Let them remind you just how amazing you are. So, you know, that's self-explanatory. Be around people that are positive and not toxic for you. And, you know, as a family, you know, as Bobo, Shanti, we should be that way with each other. We should always be telling each other good things about ourselves, using the word to build each other. Yeah. Anyway, I won't read all. Just wanted to read a few just to get some ideas of how to show love. You know, you show it to yourself, you show it to your family, show it to your brothers and your sisters, your neighbor. Yes, all right. So our Prophet Brimstone had his hand up, so I'll let him have the floor. And I'll leave this on the screen so you can see it, you know, whoever is watching. And even in the Zoom, you can see it still. Joe Brimstone, you can unmute yourself, my love.
My fault. My hands was everywhere. I was looking for the unmute button. Bless it. So yes, I just wanted to piggyback every day. Like I tell myself and I tell my children, you know what I mean? Anybody tell you you're beautiful every day? You know, you gotta look in the mirror, you know, as your circle, right? My circle say, oh, Ron, you ugly. But I make it look good every day. And you have to make yourself look good every day. So you have to big yourself up. you know, even with jobs at every level, because one door opens another door. You know what I mean? So like Judge was reading, you know, you have to tell yourself, you have to tell others, hey, you know, did anybody tell you you're beautiful today? You are beautiful. Hey, baby, you're a princess. That's why we use my Lord Empress, but blessed love King, blessed love Queen. You know what I mean? So people can feel that joy. You know, just as us, when we hear Holy Emmanuel, King Selassie, we shout out Jah Rastafari. So we can feel that, you know, and feeling is everything, you know. Somebody said you look good, you feel good, you perform good. That means that you won't have no bad feeling in you, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we can't control how others feel about us or what they say about us. We can only control ourselves, our feelings, and what we say. So if we know love because Jah is love, you know, we can dish that out because vibration and energy. Sometimes we can switch the energy over when there is a bad energy or bad frequency. We can change that over because positivity always over control, always outdo negative energy. You know what I mean? So that's how we should always walk and try. You know, find memories of the past, we build in the present for the future. Blessed love.
Blessed my Lord. Yes, I. Self-love leads to having a good self-esteem, you know? Yeah, if you don't have a good self-esteem, you wouldn't be self-confident, you know? And if you're not confident in self, you're twice defeated, you know, as the prophet told us. So, you know, these basic principles are so fundamental to human peace, happiness, yeah, and having a good experience in life, you know? Loving yourself is like number one priority. Just like they say, man, know thyself. And when you know thyself, you have to love thyself same way. Because if you know yourself and you don't love yourself, the knowledge is not serving you. But until anyone else wants to speak, I guess I'll just continue with this list of how to show love. You know, I think it is beneficial. You know, at least to me, I'm seeing some things that I could start doing to myself or for myself. Step outside of your comfort zone and try something new. You know, that's a good thing to do. Traveling, if you can travel, learning new skills. It helps you to expand yourself and, you know, to be all that you can be. You know, as Majesty said, take on more than what you really think you're capable of doing, so you can really see how much you can actually do. If you don't ever push yourself, then you wouldn't really ever reach where your potential might be able to take you. Yeah, Prophet Jasik, you have your hand raised, my Lord, you can speak.
I still love my Lord and Empress, Prince and Princess. God is love, let us all love. Give thanks for the love, my Lord. Because love that was created by love, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we give thanks for the love of the Father. We send Christ with, you know, to come to I and I itself too, you know, the love connection from the Father to His Son to I and I. And I and I know as brother and sister now, you know, as Bobo Shanti, we still love everyone same way, but we come and see how it rests amongst we still, you know, in these last days, the prophecy fulfilled. The love of many wax cold, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the little love we have amongst, you know, we cherish and let it grow still, you know.
Yes, I.
Because, you know, love is that thing, you know, it has come and go still, you know, as Marcus teach me still, you know, because every brother, you know, everyone who we are around them, or the community circle we in, you always find we got little differences. You know what?
Yes,
we got little differences because we are life. We got little differences, you know. But as Marcus teach you again, love itself is all joy. It sweetens the life. You understand? It comes and goes. But when love is active, there's no greater virtue because it makes one supremely happy. So we give thanks for the love. It makes me supremely happy when we live in love.
My Lord.
That's natural without torment and without the conscience beating you or some kind of thing, you know? When we live in true love, the greatest love is the love of Christ. as we come and learn, the Black Christ himself, Psalms 133, I hear from the elders before me that I want him the greatest psalm, to see brethren live in love and unity. Because we know that will break enough chains too. The brother he loves, the sister he loves. A man can't say he loves God and he loves his brother or his sister. That's natural, you know. So we are trying to hold with love because love is come and go. So and I had to hold the love. Anytime in love feel like I want to step away, you gotta check with yourself and know what's going on. Don't let it step away. Let me reason out this matter and always try and hold the love. Because when we hold with love now, as Marcus showed me now, the only love what will change is the love of God. There's one love that never change. Change is mistaken. And that is God's love. Longer and I, as Bobo, hold our love. Nearer we approach, like unto our Creator. Celestial, Jah, Rastafari. So we are the holy love among yourself, my Lord. We are the holy love. Because love has come like a ghost too. True love come like a ghost, which everyone is talk about, but few have seen. So we are really, so we are really holy love, my Lord. Holy love amongst the brethren and sisters. No let it slip away amongst us, my Lord. Heart of love, my Lord, Empress, Prince, and Princess. Bless him.
My Lord, yes, I give thanks for the word, son, still. Yeah, the love of God, you know, we plenty of the hymns speak of redeeming love, you know, and the power, like love lifted me. I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore. But the master, how it go? Peaceful shore. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry. And something. Anyway, the chorus is love lifted me, you know? The love of God can, when you have it within yourself through prayer, through meditation, you know, it fills your heart. And when you're full of love, it's easier for you to give the love out, you know? Yeah. And
My Lord, can I say something, please?
of course, yes, I go through.
Give thanks. Yes, my Lord. Love, you know? Yeah. Big word, love. Those 4 little letters, and it is so big. Now, my Lord, take for instance, and I going at the tabernacle, and we sing words of love and thing, and we hear the commandment read, the golden Sabbath lesson read, and we sing joyfully in the tabernacle. And as we come outside, that love and thing that we share in the tabernacle stay in there. It doesn't come out with us. Real thing I'm talking now. Yeah. By the time you go over in the yard, and a man should have said anything, it's a big thing. You understand?
Yes,
a big quarrel. If you're not mind sharp. So me I look on it, say, yeah, we can talk about love. Cause it's easy to say, easy for reason upon. But when me I look upon at the word, at the action, at the manifestation of love amongst ourselves, you know, see it, and amongst the brothers and amongst the sisters. And that me I look upon, you know.
Sorry.
Yeah. We can always talk about love. But do we manifest love amongst ourselves? If we were doing that, we wouldn't have no problem. Yeah, because we love each other, we respect each other. But it not working that way, my Lord. It's not working like our Father teach we. You understand? It's not working that way. So we need, as a people, get the teaching from King Emmanuel himself, who is love. Yeah? Live love, everything that I love and respect. We need to follow in our Father's footsteps and manifest the teaching of King Emmanuel. Jah Rastafari, Sila, Selassie, Jah Rastafari, my Lord.
Yes, I think it's a lot easier to practice if you do it for yourself, to give it out, you know. If we don't ever do anything in our day that really shows self-love, probably not going to show it to anybody else, really, you know?
My Lord. And you know, one of the greatest acts of love is forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Bobo no to have that.
This is one of the simplest thing, you know. Listen, we take it for granted, but it's one of the greatest act of love. Forgive him. What did the Christ when him up on the cross and him do
If
the
I
work?
give them, Lord, because they know not what they have done.
Forgiving is one of the greatest act of love. So
Human said forgive them 70 times 7.
and this it come from, you know. And that is the greatest release that we get, you know. You see, anytime you forgive the one that have, you know, upset you, have erred against you, and one you carry around in your heart. You see, the moment you forgive that person, you're light. You can feel that burden gone. It's a heavy thing, man. That other thing, other than love, where we don't want to know, and we should never know. You know, that next thing, that thing where them call hate, because hate and death are friend. You know, but love is God. That act of forgiving, man, is one of the greatest act of love. And anytime we can practice that and make that the more amongst us, the more tolerable of one another, knowing that humans are frail. As much as we are the same gods and the same goddesses, there's a frailty in humans, and we will buck with two. Make we lift one another up. Lift you up. Your brethren, lift him up. Your sister, you lift him up.
Instead of kicking while he's down, or you know, take advantage of him whenever they're in their worst state. You know, when people make mistakes, instead of trying to broadcast it and make them look bad, you know, if you really love them, you wouldn't really try to show the worst of them. Yeah, and you see that a lot within, you know, the Congress specifically. People love to bring up what somebody did however many years ago to try and take away their credibility. But that's not a sign of love, you know? I'm pardon, I didn't mean to cut the eye off still, my love.
No, man, you just added the fullness virgin, you know? It is true. Among us, we need to practice that more, you know? And the more we do it, is more we strengthen each other, you know, because we're going strength to strength, you know. Like I'm saying, lions moving within our pride. Yeah, that proudness, that confidence, that courage builds in us as we move together, strength to strength, you know. And that's the level that we want to practice as priests and as a house of priests and empress. That forgiving love. No, we're not saying being tolerant of foolishness and bad behavior, you know, because we are a house of principle as well. But from time to time, sometimes hear the little things that cause erring and the little things that we use these what His Majesty coined as petty differences, seen to separate each other, you know, a disagreement just in a reasoning, not in even an action, you know, that inflicts harm per se, but within a reasoning. And like Empress Maisie was saying earlier, an argument take place, and before you know it, we are enemies. You hear this one against that one, and that tolerance, that compassion that we need to have for one another. Because if we don't have it for one another, if we don't have it for yourself, and then for one another, how are we going to expect it within the world that we are trying to build among our brothers and sisters? You know, as a house of priests, we have to set that example. We are the head in a Rastafari, head creator. We are the head. We are held to a higher standard of liberty. So that love that we're talking about, that respect, we supposed to be the epitome of that in any community that Bobo exists. I and I supposed to hold a standard. When we move into, we're supposed to hold a standard. That light supposed to shine off of I and I. That light is I and I liberty, you know. the way we carry ourselves dignified, the way we are, you know, the way we deal with people, the compassion that we show, because I'm saying, how you know the disciples of Christ? By the love. What is love? Is the act, the care, the concern, the selflessness, the giving, the charity, all of that come together, make up the virtue. Yeah, give thanks.
Thanks, Honorable. Have two hands raised, Honorable Prophet Jasik, and then Prophet Anoja. Prophet Jasik, I can unmute and go through, my Lord.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Blessed love.
Blessed Honorable.
First thyself be true, and thou can't be false to no man. Yeah, my Lord, when Jack said the order for we are all same way, you know, when our brother meet our brother, we always blessed with a heart of love. So you see, before we himself reason, when we meet one another, we always blessed with a heart of love, same way first.
Acho.
That's not true, my Lord, because I did beginning for the honorable priest. The love, you know, I give thanks for everybody forgiveness to my Lord.
And you have to mean it. You have to mean it when you say it still, you know?
True, my Lord, true honorable. True, my Lord.
It's like a repetition, you know? And if you don't have the heart into it, then it really don't mean much at all still.
So, full blessed love. True, my Lord. So, you know, considering with the love for your enemies and all too, then, you know, because let's be real, as a man, then when I see an enemy, someone who violates you or someone who trespasses against you, when I see him, or even though you might see him or it all come to your mind, you might get vexed, you might say to gnash with your teeth or frown. These things that get a man sick, my Lord. These vexational spirits that get a man sick. So when you teach these signs about love your enemy and all, my Lord, and you know what I mean? I say you're going to kiss him all these things, you know, but you'll keep the peace and the love for him same way from within, my Lord. The love for everyone, because, you know, we don't want to get sick on these things, you know, we want to keep the joy from within, the true love. So we love even the enemy too, my Lord, with the heart of love, you know. We go pen and coast on them because that's whole long way. And this is what we love now, what we shine. Even the enemy could be at peace with we too, because Jah teach them science. When our man ways please the Lord, even the enemy that be at peace with we. So we are not really practice the love and Bobo, it's just love. That's the only thing man could carry we. True holy Mount Zion, you know, with all you love, my Lord. But you know how life go to honorables. These the last days, and you know, many love go wax cold same way too, you know. But we are still trying to encourage you brothers to always practice the love. But same way, not all go practice the love still, so you know. So as the Empress, you know, and as we all see too, the love cool amongst us within certain realms. But the little love I say, what we have, I cherish and let it grow. So I give thanks for the love, my Lord, because the love how we healthy, my Lord. Healthy, the love, you know?
Yes,
honorable. Heart of love, my Lord.
Yes, sir. Love is alkaline, you know? The hatred and the grudge is acidic and toxic to the structure.
Real.
Yes, I.
Give thanks, my Lord.
My Lord.
Glorify my Lord.
And even love with security, you know? Like I was saying, you know, you don't, and the priest even mentioned, you don't tolerate foolishness, you forgive. But when you keep a heart of love, you still have love for a man because you know he's a man or a woman, you know. You understand that people do fall short sometimes, but you don't put yourself in the same situation to allow the same thing to happen to you. Part of self-love is having healthy boundaries, not allowing people to destroy your happiness and destroy your peace with their foolishness and their bad vibes and things like that. You have to have a standard for yourself.
Like to say another word there, Daniel.
What? Yes, Honorable. Well, you have to have a standard of what you're not willing to accept, you know, and keep those things far away from you because they can mess you up. You know, if you allow someone to mess up your vibe, that's on you because you allowed it, you know. Yeah. Prophet,
Called settling.
Pardon?
It's called settling. If you know you're uncomfortable with something, you know what I mean?
Yes,
and people get unsettled because they're settling in an uncomfortable situation.
That's true. Yes, my Lord.
Bless you.
Yes, give thanks, my Lord. Prophet, I know Jah had his hand up, and then Empress Maisie, you could go after him, and then we'll call on Prophet Brimstone. Prophet, I know Jah.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress, Prince and Princess, out of celebration. Give thanks for the God of love, you know. Yeah, and the word again, respect. Please hear me out. Give thanks for the priest laying something down, really as a cornerstone teachment, which is to forgive. That's powers. Now, upon the word respect, right? Here this angle now to it. You have a gathering where you have a one come with goodly apparel, right? And then a next one come with, rags. And they are for a prayer. And we know that glory, right? So what I'm looking at is this. Jah is no respect of persons, right? This is an angle of respect, have a principle in it too. That's where it's coming from. Like respect itself, just like love. If you really love, you're not going to see yourself falling and not try to pick yourself up. That's just accurate. You know, I can explain that in another way. But when it comes to respect have principles, same way as love, within the level of even how Jah judge it, you have even at our prayer, one was saying in that said glory where one was even praying to be not like, which is judging in the wrong realm, So when it comes to respect, you have principles in it same way as expectation, as the true nature of any loving one in themselves to actually in tune with yourself. Because if you go through a thing, right, just like I was saying, if you were a street man, your mental spectacles, according to the world was set on the world now that I come now, right, and show us. That's X world teaching that lead to 6'6", but our teaching lead to life, right? So even if you learn all of that, right, and you go through these realms, because we're living in a society that we could clearly see that data shows the aim for us and mark us and etc. But now to deal with one another, as the priest was saying, with forgiveness, I see that happen really, in the level of give thanks. I see it happen, so I could bear witness that is a true word. You see it, and if you really forgive yourself, same way, because sometimes when you have an expectation high, and if you fall from the highness, you're falling far down, right? But now, if you live that lowly life, right, you're grounded. You live this lowly life where you have self-esteem. You have all of these, focuses upon the reality you're living in. But as how the thing say, Marcus say, let no voice but your own, speak to you from the depths. Not let no influence but your own. When I say your own, I don't mean individual. I mean the Black Christ come and awaken these things in us. Our own culture, not really our own personal thing.
My Lord.
My Lord. Yes, sir.
I'm not going to cut you. I'm going to let you finish. But can you finish that quote there? Because he didn't stop at just listen to your own voice. He said in a specific situation, you only listen.
Yes, sir. I will come into that, but give thanks still. Give thanks. So Marcus said, let no voice from your own speak to you from the depth. Let no influence of your own rouse you in a time of peace and a time of war. Hear all and only attend to what concern you. Right?
Yes.
So I was just, trying to bring another angle as one would read in the scripture where he says, Jah is no respect of person, but yet still he have respect. So now the man himself, which is the God, the goddess, the one who oversee this thing here and own this thing here. He's showing you have principles, just like how we would have principles in love. You're not going to hurt yourself. And if you hurt yourself, you're going to feel the hurt to correct that, to make it right. You see it? So I was just basing this here for the priest word, which give us inspiration towards even looking at respect, have principles, in it, just as love have principles. That's why you say long suffering, tolerance, these things is like God, nature. The nature is just nature. Yeah, God nature. You have nature in the realms of how nature is. You see, so I just give thanks that the word comes so true as to just forgive. Help us to forgive that we must be forgiven. Teach us love, loyalty, and earth as it is in Zion. So give thanks once again. My love.
Thanks for the word, Honorable. Now calling on Empress Maisie and then Prophet Brimstone.
Yes, my Lord. Just a little reminder here. You know, but the first man who taught us to say, blessed love my Lord and Empress, right? And right now, it is on everybody's mouth tongue. Who's saying, blessed love my Lord and Empress. You know, see. And remember, when that I teach him saints them, you know, how to greet a one. With the word, blessed love my Lord and Empress. When I want come through the arch, the priest, the prophet, or the empress of the reverend themselves and place them left hand upon them breasts, right? And bow and say, blessed love, my Lord and Empress. So I'm just drawing back the platform to that, you know, to the teaching of the Black Christ. You know, see, God is love and God teach love. You understand? You know, right now, everybody in Jamaica actually I say blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Yeah, right you know. Yeah, I'll on the radio and everything. One time you never heard that they're saying there. You know, so the Father saying and teaching a manifest. You know, see it right, yeah?
Yes,
Give thanks.
Yes, I.
Bless
Prophet,
God.
my Lord.
Yes, yes. So yeah, just like the Honorable Empress was saying, that is a trickle down effect. You know what I mean? A trickle down effect, because that taught us to say blessed love. So, you know, even when you speak, you know what I mean? Blessed love, you know what I mean? So we say that word, you know what I mean? The more times you can recite something, the more times you study something, the more time you know something. So the more time we see Jah is love, let us all love. You know, teach us love, loyalty on earth as it is in Zion. You know what I mean? The more that we see these things and we do these things and we read these things and we speak these things, the more it would take action on these things. Because anger is a letter short away from danger. I'm just speaking on life experience. If you're full with anger, that's going to show. You know what I mean? And then you're going to lash out at everybody or anybody. And then you can lose people like that. You know what I mean? Where love is more gained and is no loss. You know what I mean? Because the love is so powerful in this world. You know what I mean? You love your brother and your sister, you know? You honor your mother and your father. You love them as you love the Most High, because the Most High love is unconditional. So whatever we do, the Most High, he will forgive us because he taught us that. So we must pass that down, and that will be a trickle down effect, just like how everybody now in Jamaica is saying blessed love. You know what I mean? It will just be a trickle down effect. Blessed.
Blessed love, my Lord. Give thanks, honorable. Yes, sir. The floor is open, you know. Anyone have anything to say? Prophet Clarky, my Lord. You go through.
Start a love to the whole family. My Lord. Emperor. To all the visitors. Love to the house, my Lord.
Yes, my Lord.
Yes, sir. To give thanks again, my Lord, in the presence of the I and them on such mighty manifestation and reasoning to what you would love, my Lord. You know?
Yes, sir.
My Lord is a great word, my Lord. You know? For we have to see it just natural. You know, for he that, you know, hated no, it not God or no mama. And you know, the I and them, because God is love. You know, and he sent his son that the love will be manifested unto us. So love is heights, love is width, love is depth. You know? So it's a great reasoning to the eye on the topic, my Lord and Empress, you know, and give thanks, my Lord, to be on the forum still. You know, and we ought to love each other, my Lord, for God loved us first, my Lord. And if it wasn't for the love of God, my Lord, it would have rest away, my Lord. So love is a deep word, my Lord. God is love, let us all love. Most High, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, my Lord. Listen.
Yes, my Lord. I'll read a little scripture then while the floor is open. I won't read the whole book just because it's a long book still. But from the first epistle of John, chapter 3, he said, whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. I'll start from verse 14. We know that we have passed from death unto life, because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him. Hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. But whoso hath this world's good, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of God in him? Question. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. Right? In deed, that means in doing something for someone, to someone, and in truth, not a lie, not lying to yourself, not lying to the person who you're giving the love to, supposedly. Yeah. And hereby we know that we are the truth, we are of the truth, and shall assure our hearts before him. For if our hearts condemn us, God is greater than our heart, and knoweth all things. Beloved, if our heart condemn us not, then we have confidence, then have we confidence toward God. I'll repeat that verse. Beloved, if our heart condemn us not, then have we confidence towards God. And whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight. And this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his Son, Jesus, Black Christ, King Emmanuel, Charles Edwards, Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari, and love one another as he gave us commandment. And he that keepeth his commandments dwelleth in him, and he in him. And hereby we know that he abideth in us by the Spirit which he hath given us. Most High, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. So, the opposite of life is death. The opposite of love is hate, and the scripture is just telling us, if we don't have that love in ourselves, we really are not living. None of the other principles really is of any consequence, none of the other commandments. Because if you hate your brother, as it said, you are in death and God is not abiding in you. The Spirit of God is the Spirit of truth and right, and there's also love, So if you have any hatred in you, then you're not full of God, and, have to get rid of that, seek it out, get it out of yourself. We all have to do that. None of us is probably perfect, and as we say, perfect in love. We all have work to do on ourselves, with understanding and with patience and tolerance for ourselves, knowing that we're growing. But, that's the level that we have to seek to. That's the standard that Christ set, As it's been mentioned, unconditional love for our brothers and sisters. Yes, the floor is open. Anyone, feel free to, you can unmute yourself if no one else is speaking, and, share a sound or whatever.
Bless the love, my Lord.
Bless the love, Honorable Doctor.
I want to try and sample your concern, love,
Yes, sir.
How great the love is, my Lord. I'll continue and read from the book of St. Matthew, chapter 19, verse 17. Continue and reading, my Lord and Empress. Jah, Rastafari. And he said and Christ said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none but one, that is God. But if thou will enter into life, keep the commandments. And he said unto him, which Jesus said, thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not be a false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man said unto him, all these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Jesus said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in Zion, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Then said Jesus, the Black Christ, unto the disciples, verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of Zion. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. But the morality, why should I them, my Lord, is that, this young man now, when he meet Christ, Christ let him know to get eternal life, keep the commandments. And this virgin now was keeping commandments from since he was a youth man. He was keeping all the commandments, my Lord. He was keeping commandments. And when he tell Christ that now, Christ telling him, know what they're going on. Sell what you have and give to the poor. And follow me, which is the love, my Lord. But he had great possessions, so he a man turned back. He never followed Christ then. So you see now, even though a man keeping commandments, my Lord, the love greater still, my Lord, because this man was keeping commandments, my Lord. But he turned back because the love of Christ. So we give thanks for the love, my Lord, because the love, it's so powerful, my Lord. The love created us. It's love how we are, love created us all, my Lord. So we give thanks for the love. So you really carry with you, my Lord. The great love of Christ, Blessed love, honorable, heart of love. My Lord and Empress, Prince and Princess.
Blessed, blessed. Sorry. Reading in the comments in the video, the live chat, the Empress is saying this love needs action, Even Empress Maisie did say, it's easy to talk it, but to do it is a totally different thing. It's easy to say, but it's not so easy to do, because when your feelings are hurt, when somebody blatantly disrespects you, it's really hard to be loving in that moment, and we're not supposed to be allowing ourselves to be drunken in wrath and anger and then doing things that we regret afterwards, The two wrongs never make a right, so it's up to us to even have a level of calm and patience and understanding of ourselves, to know when we're triggered, triggered meaning something is ticking you off. You have to know when the signs or when you're getting there, when maybe for you, it might be your breathing gets real shallow, you start to get hot in your head, or, you have physical signs, you have mental signs when you get into that level where you're kind of getting out of control, and you have to check yourself and think back up sometimes, to not transgress the law yourself, even though somebody did you wrong. You don't want to be also in wrong with them. Right is might, so love is right, and another aspect of love really, is like for Black people, for instance, and I'm sure this applies to other people as well. You've been taught a lot about self-hate, you was taught to not love the texture of your hair, to not love the color of your skin, to not love the shape of your face, your nose, your features, your lips, to not love your native language, to not love your native culture, your natural culture. You've been taught that everything is better than African, everyone and everything around the world. People, when they want to travel, they want to go to Asia, they want to go to Europe, they want to go everywhere, but to deal with themselves and see the motherland, and be amongst their own people. And even, across the board, it's not just ones in the West. Even in Africa, you have sisters. If you watch Nollywood, the sisters wear, a lot of weaves, and like they're home in their own land, but they imitate the features of others. They bleach their skin. All of these different things is forms of self-hate. And, Marcus Garvey really taught us to love ourselves, One, first of all, seeing God in your own spectacles, but also being happy with, he said, the black skin is not a badge of shame, but it's a great honor, you know? God knew what he was doing when he made me black, you know? And the black man and woman is the first, the original of all, and all came from the black man and the black woman. So for us as gods and goddess of the earth, you know, we have to know this about ourselves in order to have the proper amount of love for ourselves, because we've been detached from our ancient history and only attached to the most recent history, which is slavery and what happened after slavery, and even what they give us about before slavery is folly. You know, they show you pictures and videos of, you know, people in the bush with a bone sticking through their nose, putting people in some big cauldron, you know, to cook them and eat them, cannibal living, and, you know, saying that with Darwin and his theory of evolution, where he says that the black man and woman are the closest to the apes and the least evolved, you know, that's teaching you to hate yourself. They did all kind of science experiments where they took real people, you know, and looked on them in laboratories like they're, you know, some type of, I mean, I don't even think it's all right to do it to the lab rat, you know, or guinea pig, you know, but that's what they treated our ancestors as. You know, Sarah Bartman, they made her a exhibit in a zoo kind of thing, you know, and the brethren, Ota Benga, the man from the Congo, he was a Batwa person, you know, real short, and he had his teeth filed like, you know, pointy, because that's how their culture is. And they brought him to Virginia, and, you know, he died of depression because they had him in a circus kind of thing where people would come in and look at him and treat him like he was like a monkey or something, you know. And even the monkey, I think, is wrong to do that to any living being, you know. But especially a human still, because we have, I can't even say especially a human, you know. I mean, it's just not right to do that to human, to living beings, you know, that carry the spirit of God, you know. But I'm getting off the point, but the point is, all of these things the Europeans did to instill a level of self-hate so that we as a people would never want to re-identify ourselves with Africa, with our native tongue, with our natural culture, with the foods that we eat, and, you know, everything about ourselves. They taught us to reject it, to not want to live amongst each other. And when we do live amongst each other, you see the type of problems we have, you know, crime and violence, hatred, keeping up with the Joneses, you know, worldliness, them type of things, you know. So the self-love for Black people as a whole now, you know, is to accept yourself as an African no matter where you are, you know. The Ethiopian, like the leopard, the leopard can't change its spots, and neither can the Ethiopian change the color of his skin. We're just Black, you know, and there's no shame in that. It's really, like Marcus said, a badge of honor. You are one of the, you are an ancestor, or your ancestors are the original people, and there's nothing that came before them. All of us have a common predecessor, you know. God is really the first, and we all come from God still. But, you know, the Black man and Black woman really are the prototype of human. At one time, there was only Black people on the earth. According to scientific research, you know, Dr. Sheikh Enta Diop, where he, you know, shows you how ancient the Black man and woman really is, you know, millions of years. So for you to love yourself, you know, is to connect with your God self, your Black self. And I'll stop there, you know, because I know I'm talking kind of long. But I don't know if anyone else had something they wanted to say still. Prophet Clarky, my Lord, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, my Lord, out of love to your family again.
My Lord.
Honorable. So, to the royal house, my Lord, you know, we talk and we say, you know, the word love, my Lord, but love is something It's an inward feeling, my Lord. Deep, deep, deep. And so bring back the reasoning. Henceforth, while I say that, my Lord, the commandment sure is just natural. You have to do unto others as there's like others to do unto you, my Lord. So the love now of the commandments is the respect one towards another, my Lord. Without the law and these things, naturally, my Lord, in myself, my Lord, we know what love is, my Lord. We don't have to go to the law to know what love is, my Lord. It's something we just feel. It is feel the equality in yourself. It is know that if personally you don't want someone to do something to you, you won't do it to that one, my Lord. So love is equal. Love is balanced. Love is right. You know, so love cover a great field, my Lord, among us. And as I know say, my Lord, due to the smarts of slavery and thing, you know, they taught us not to love ourselves now by bleaching our skins and making me feel like we ought to be someone else. And like black is this negative, and we know that black is the first and black is beautiful. So, you know, it depends now on the teaching in this time now, my Lord, as we come back now to rejuvenate and revive back the people again to love themselves by loving God commandments, by loving God principles, my Lord, and His statutes and His precepts, my Lord. So when we love God, we just love back, we self-natural, my Lord, because God in all of us, my Lord. You don't want to hurt no one because you don't want no one to hurt you. You don't want to kill no one, you don't want no one to kill you, my Lord. So you just love is equality and balance, my Lord and Empress, Prince and Princess.
Most natural, my Lord, you said. Yeah, and even, you know, man to woman relationship, family life, you know, the way a man treats his woman is the first example of love. Not just the way the man treat, but the way the two treat each other is the first example of love that the children would see, you know, as far as like how a relationship is supposed to be and what they would set as a standard for themselves, you know, and what they would expect in a relationship. So really, you know, as a parent, your life is an example, you know, to the children that you bring into the world. And it's on you, you know, to really show love, you know, especially to their mother or to their father, not based on what they can do for you, but if you really love the person, you know, you love them. And in general, when we do love, when we do deeds that show love to one another, we're not doing it because we want to receive something back. Just doing it because it's good, you know, and we know that it's going to help that person to, you know, be in a better state of mind. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the floor is open. I see Honorable Empress Leanne came in, and this was the topic that she proposed still. So would love to hear from the goddess. Honorable, if you feel too, you can unmute yourself.
Bless the love, my Lord and Empress. Yeah, my Lord.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my Lord. Give thanks for life and the mighty life giver. Sorry about the late coming in, honorable. I now come on from a little journey there, my Lord. One of the first things I do, my Lord, and even so to say, my Lord. So sorry about the late coming in, Majesty. My Lord, the top move, my Lord, and give thanks for the consideration of keeping the topic, my Lord. So, my Lord, which part you could get from what the topic is about, but which part it reached so far, my Lord, that I could come in and put me in emergency because I ain't really getting feed here yet, my Lord.
Well, you know, we're just covering a whole lot of things. I mean, love is a broad topic, you know, it covers so much when it comes to human interaction with each other and with the earth and with self, you know. So, Empress, you can really just freely speak, you know, whatever it is that you had in mind, that you feel this needs to be a topic. Why were you compelled to propose this particular topic? What is it that you would love to share about love? Yeah.
Yes, Majesty.
And respect.
Love my Lord is our arms and natural energy with us all, you know, my Lord. What we just feel, my Lord, and it's just for others to feel it too, my Lord. It have different, well, I believe it have different ways of loving, you know, different ways to love different individuals. Like as a writing on the Bobo side of somebody was body different. It have 7 types of love. So I went to, you know, seeking it out, getting information about it. But just self-love is, I know love is a natural feeling, an energy within I and I self, you know, a good feeling that you could extend the energy and they will feel it, whatever aspect or relation that may be, my Lord. And I think the respect come in that if you respect somebody, you wouldn't want to hurt them, you know. If you love somebody, you wouldn't want to disrespect them, you know, vice versa, you know. You wouldn't want to hurt them, you wouldn't want that person to feel bad, you know, get that ill feeling, majesty. You understand? So I believe now if you respect somebody, you wouldn't want to hurt them. And if you love them, you wouldn't want to disrespect them. But in my own humble opinion, my Lord, I know it's just an energy to this feel, you know, you give out care, you know, compassion, patience. It have a right in this being people home. I was to look for it to know. They talk about what patience and what love is. Others maybe familiar with it. You know, it's be like writing in people home, like love is patience, love is kind, love is compassion, love is these different, you know, explanation. I love my Lord. You know, it's all a whole energy, majesty. But I know that this, you know, could extend and you feel it, my Lord. That's the simplest that I could explain it here for my Lord until I get not into this more majesty.
Yes,
Yes, I.
That was
give
nice.
thanks.
No, that was nice. No, good expression. Great expression, Empress.
Mhm.
Yes, majesty. Give thanks, honorable priest. Give thanks. Blessed Lord.
Prophet Winston had his hand up, but before I give the idle floor, I just want to let the elders know, and everyone still, I would love to reason about how the generation now from elder to youth can have a little bit more love and respect for each other. You know, in this Congress and in general in life, how what can we do better to build more love between the elders and the young people and more connection, you know? But I'll give Ja Winston the floor, my Lord, Ja Winston.
I said of my Lord, an Empress, Holy Manuel is last. Yeah. Rastafari. Give thanks to the Black House of the Israelite. Give thanks, you know, for the morning uprising. Give thanks again for the anointed same way. Even the people that we do anointed. Yes, give thanks for love, eh? Love. Now, is what type of love we're really defending, you know, as a Congress, you know, and as a people and as a nation. Now, sometimes you have to forget yourself, you know. Sometimes you're not really the love of yourself, but you have to sacrifice the throne. You know, you see the throne of David, the King Emmanuel show you say you have to sacrifice the throne, not by, you know, a harsh way or a negative way, but the love we have for the throne. Sometimes you have to go hungry because you love the throne. And you ain't going to sell out your belly for forsake the throne, same, you forsake yourself within your thought of mind, you know, your thinking ability. I think love, we Bobo Shanti, we love. You know, because just to be Bobo Shanti, you have to have love, eh? Because Bobo Shanti is not just a simple order, and it might seem like it's a simple order, but Bobo Shanti is a sacrifice. Kind this time, eh? As we hold the Sabbath, you know, as we hold the commandment, as we prepare for the 40 strong and hold it the same way. No one else ain't going to come and do it. And yes, them people, they have love same way. Because they go love their friend, them go love them family. Love, as King Emmanuel said, God is all type of people. Right now, we are trying to stay the camp, trying to get the people them to focus on Jamaica and on Bobo Hill. Because that is where whole meditation right now is to get the people. They might start this week coming up in the school again, trampling the pandemic under feet and trampling the vaccine under feet, I think within the whole power of Bobo Shanti, that we have so much love for one another. Sometimes we don't even study what ones and ones want to do, or how we ones and ones want to say. We just know we love. We mightn't see each other every day, but if I go to a country and I don't have no for say, from I see Bobo, I go there. We have that love, and that love always live within I and I. King Emmanuel give us the love, and the love can come out of I and I. Just to be Bobo Shanti is love. Bobo Shanti is the only one that will go to all kind of things in the world, my lord.
Bobo Shanti.
All kind of people say all kind of thing of King Emmanuel and them even say one time we just eat fish. Them sting of we and all thing. You over see them carrying a fish on the mountain top. You over then disrespect the all how, but we still had a love there. Because anyway we stand, my lord, the people and focus on, even though we go in tongue for 5 minutes, the people and focus on we. We bowing to we and then we, my lord. So the love then we say, so we give thanks even for the reasoning. Love is still strong in every way, even in the pandemic. I don't know. We are the greatest overcomer of the pandemic. They don't see Bobo Shanti don't catch COVID, So more love and more strength and more prosperity with the love we live in,
Lord.
See that.
Glorify. So yeah, I would love, if we could even, as I mentioned before, it's just a thought still, but I think there could be more. Like there's ways you can build love amongst people, even this platform, being that it's usually about the same people that come on, we reason together, we get to know each other, we get to have more respect for each other through knowing each other and through reasoning uprightly. This builds love amongst us, just like how service is supposed to build love. The tabernacle service, as the Empress said, is supposed to build love. Now, when we go out of the tabernacle, when we go out of this platform, we carry that same energy, throughout the world. But it's like what I feel like within the Congress is that we before we want to love someone that we don't know, and even someone we do know, we would rather highlight what they did wrong and what their faults are, and find a reason why that person is imperfect or whatever the case may be. And that keeps us away from each other. So sometimes, like, all right, Willie Lynch, right? The whole Willie Lynch letter and everything, the divide and rule tactics, light skin versus dark skin, man versus woman, old versus young, all of these different division, but, and I was speaking specifically about bridging the gap from the generation, from the elders to the youth, because, all right, and the reason why I say this is because, like, from what I've heard, even from Priest Dougie and Empress Maisie and others, is that when they came to the camp, what attracted them and made them stay is the love that they saw amongst the brethren and sisters.
Sure.
Empress Maisie expressed to us that she doesn't feel like that type of love really exists in the camp anymore. Now, what's a way that can be repaired? And of course the camp needs more people, but if nobody else comes, there still needs to be love there. So within the international community, within the elder to youth and man to woman, what is it that we, Bobo Shanti, can do amongst ourselves to build more love and more unity with each other? Just ideas. I mean, we're just conceptualizing really, but that's what think tanks are for, you know, study and all of that stuff is to figure out ways to solve problems, you know.
More interaction, more
Sure.
interaction with the headquarters, more interaction together.
Sure. Sure.
Just casual interaction, more interaction. So there is more chance of the positive energy
Sure.
gathering and influencing, you know, because really and truly, we leave a handful of ones to maintain a monastery, you know, of a high standard. You know, life sometimes tends to get burdensome and tiresome, you know. It's Babylon with them, and Zion with them. So it is a fight just to survive every day.
Sure.
So the rigors of life have to play into the whole thing. So the more we interact, the more we can show appreciate love for one another and make that energy flow to ones and ones within their space. See? So, you know, I was reasoning with just to be practical and reason with the item right now. This week I was reasoning with Priest Lamont as one of the priests from that interacts with the camp and is part of the elders council there. And we were talking about how to create a authority-based group, because it has to start somewhere, you know. Yeah, we can call it all the pretty names, the parliament, the whatever. But right now, the bridge in them, they're trying to organize themselves on the hill as a elders council, to have a set of ones, the elder ones, come together, have their regular meetings discussing how to function and how to help develop a methodology, you know, going forward. So Iman was showing my suggestion to that development, you know, to give it strength, was to be able to use technology then, since a lot of I can't be there in person at this specific moment. There are still ways that we can use technology and be interactive in the conversation, even when the elder council is taking place, as other elders or other participants, interested ones, you know, from the international body, you know. So the more we interact, and those who are who can pass through, make the child spend a week, spend a 2 week, pass through, the more interactive we are among one another, is the more we develop that gumminess, you know, that love, that tightness that we need, that solidarity, because that is what is lacking right now, that first love, that love that brought it to the order. Because individually in ourselves, we love the order, you know, we love the liberty. But the thing we connect each of us together, that other love, that other level of love now, that go beyond self, you know, because sometimes that is where the problem occurs too, you know, we become too self-centered. That other level of love now that goes beyond self now, where you so value yourself that you value your brother even more, in a sense, to know that, yeah, the same God is in them, you know. So the struggle that I face every day to deal with even myself and I own weaknesses and I own, you know, apprehensions and I own anxieties and all of that. That individual has those situations dealing with too as well. So we can start to more interact and shore up one another and be there, you know, make that energy flow. Because like I say, we've been saying throughout this whole reasoning, love is that feeling, that connection. Love is that binds us together, Rasta. So if we can really get that kind of gummy love by interacting more, showing more concern, more compassion, more tolerance for one another, more forgiveness of the past things, you know.
True, my Lord. Yes, I.
So we can step up from that now and say, well, you know, as a matter of fact, Iron Priest Lamont was saying that at some point, maybe to get a international moment of healing, you know, and I need to call a day of atonement, a moment of atonement internationally as a house, no matter where you are, within that day, within that 24 hour. It's that moment where we all pray. If you want to fast, fast. If we decide it's a fasting moment, we fast. But pray and fast and give up all that burden. Any burden that you're carrying, any, forgive your brother, forgive yourself, just let it go. So from that moment onward, we can regain back with energy, with power, Christ-like self.
Power's my lad. Power's my lad. Power.
Do you need an apology in order to do that, my Lord?
That day, you see, that the day is the apology, We want all ones to embrace it when that day is called for. We want all ones to understand what that day really truly means, because we have to empower it by being sincere to the moment. Because the call is for a day of atonement where we all accept, knowingly or unknowingly, whatever we have done to someone or someone has done to I and I, that no longer carries a burden within us.
Sure.
We're freeing ourselves of it and freeing that individual of what the act caused. We're freeing the whole moment. We're lightening our burden. We're getting rid of that cancer there before it grows.
And when one has forgiven someone, what are the signs? Like, what is the new behavior, the new mentality to prove that the person has been forgiven? Pardon.
Because I like that question. I love that question because everything is, remember now, love is an action thing. Everything that you're speaking about here right now is about performing an act. The moment of atonement is an act. See? So the result of that act is what you're asking about. The result of that act is supposed to be that lightness. And that lightness is supposed to transfer into how ones can interact again with one another, how ones can interact again with the collective, Why? Because if we notice a lot of ones staying away from trying to come together, every man in that own little pocket looking on, and something in enough cases hoping so the next pocket falter, the next brethren falter. Like you said, Daniel, showing up, highlighting the frailties of one another when we all have them. So we want to bring back the house of priests to a moment of divine self. Giving all of I and I that moment. Dada did it before he passed. He forgave everybody. You understand? He forgave everyone. He had that moment, the feast of the Passover, where he forgave everyone had started a new slate. Well, as a house, we're calling for that moment again, because whatever it is that is keeping us apart, that is causing this negative energy to flow, to distort the positive energy and the power that we can harness from the positive energy. Because you have to have ground and you have to have the power. Without the ground, the power don't have no effect. The grounding, is that forgiveness, letting go. Because whatever it is, we cannot change the past. But from today and from that moment, when we release it, we can build freely. We can build together. It's a fresh slate, no looking back. Yeah, give thanks.
My Lord, yes, because sometimes ones say they forgive, but then in the actual interaction with the person that they said they forgave, they still are, obviously their actions, their mood, their attitude shows that they actually are still bitter about whatever it was. And they might bring that back up, and try to still hold that same thing that they said they forgave someone, still try to hold that over their head and, remind them about that type of thing, So yeah, true forgiveness, it means you move on, you leave it in the past. Yes, so we got a few hands raised. Prophet Brimstone, then Empress Cindy, and then Prophet Winston. Prophet Brimstone, you can unmute, my Lord.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback what the Honorable was saying. Interaction and then action. Yes, everything starts with action and then it's reaction, interaction. You know what I mean? So it's how you handle situations. on your action. You know, Dada took action to create the EABIC, you know what I mean, the Congress, you know what I mean? And he also took action for us to follow his principles and his love and his ways, you know? Blessed love.
My Lord. Give thanks. Yeah, the greatest sacrifice that one could give to show your love for someone is to put your life on the line for them, you know, and he did that for us. Yeah, all of his life was towards our freedom, redemption, repatriation, you know, not just his own. He probably could have left if he wanted to, you know, but he didn't. Empress Cindy, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Bless the love, my Lord and Empress. I would like to say that communication through respect and love is the key to keeping love alive. I also would like to say that regarding what Empress Maisie was saying earlier, how in the days of her being on camp, how there was a lot of love there. They were obviously practicing love on a higher frequency. And that frequency was on such a high level that's why they were able to, you know, coexist and understand one another in love, peace, and harmony.
True.
I also would like to add that in order for you to practice love and give love, you have to open your heart to love. If your heart is selfish, if your heart is wicked, if you have a bad mind, if you hold grudges and jealousy, malice, and all these kind of things, how are you going to give love to anybody if this is what you're holding in your heart? Another thing I wanted to say was that I just recently read an proverb, and it reads, the buttocks are like a married couple. Though there is a constant friction between them, they will still love and live together. Give thanks.
Yes, give thanks.
May I say something, Dr. Stratton?
Prophet Winston, do you mind if Empress Maisie goes through?
No, ma'am. No,
I'm not staying long, you know, I'm just supporting Sister Cindy.
No, mama, go ahead. Go ahead, mama. Go ahead.
Yes. So true, Sister Cindy. Yes, for true, my beloved. Because bad mind, that's why Dad have to send, you know, the principal of the roll call every morning, right? To remind, you know, the members that they must live in love. Live in love and unity. There was so much erring here going amongst, you know, our brothers and sisters. Simple thing. It's not no big thing, cause not, you know, a small thing where you have to look over and then turn it on in a teeth and tongue. So that's why the Father had us to send the, you know, the reminder, the principle, the commandment how we should live, you know, within love. So true, sister, because if you have bad mind, if your heart is not right, if your heart have bitterness and bad mind and grudgeful and envy, you know, and every little thing, it's a quarreling. So in the heart, there's no place for love. You understand? No place for love in the heart. You know, so it's so true. You know, we have to, as a people who Father teach we how we must live, love one to another. We have to go back and examine our heart. You know, examine how we live, how we manifest in love, how we reaching out to our brothers and sisters with love. You know, are we following the 10 Commandments? You know, are we following the Black Christ teaching, who teach us about love? You know, my Lord, give thanks. Blessed love.
Give thanks, Mama Love. Love I and I.
Blessed love.
Blessed Prophet Winston, my Lord.
Blessed love, Empress. Give thanks again for the power of the chalice. Give thanks again for life and love, my God. And Empress.
Winston, are you so low? You low there, Bobo?
Yes, Mama. Give thanks again for the heights of glory, Give thanks again for life and the mighty life giver, Yes, Mama. You see the love of Bobo Shanti, it there, you know, it ain't gone anywhere, you know. It there right there, From ancient of days, cause Mama Maisie and them, love so much till them keep the order so that I and I could have come and even chat the order same way, because them set the order from ancients of time same way. Or you might say ancients of days same way. We respect them and we love them, but should we ain't need them because now the violence in Jamaica, we keep the multitude of the people from the camp and the reputation of the brothers and them in Jamaica. It's just that, you know. You guys, man, afraid for come, I'm afraid I'm gonna get hot and all them things, you know. It's them things they will hold this order here in this way, like how it there, you know, because the camp were them full of people, Bobo.
True, Bobo, true.
You know, so it sometimes the love did it, it ain't gone nowhere. It did it. Cause we love Bobo Shanti, we love the people, them. You know, the meditation right now is putting it in the youth and them. Having some young generation now within the camp, we carry on the chat. You have as a seat, setting it in them. So we have to carry that love, that respect within our community. And if you notice, it have a lot of people in Bobo Shanti will just be still and don't say nothing. And a lot of people we always saying thing of these people, you know, so you know exactly who is the real people who causing certain things amongst the Congress. And it's just a matter of time when them go really come to a right, you know, because we ain't fighting them. We hoping for them come to a right, you know, so that we could have, can't check with Bobo Shanti do, when Rastafari set itself, it was one love. Everyone used to say one love. But when Empress Maisie and Emmanuel them said Bobo Shanti to I and I, it's blessed love. It's Bobo Shanti blessed the love, you know, my lord. It's the house of the priest blessed the love. So the love flow all over the earth. All Christians say blessed love. Everyone says blessed love, you know.
And a real time.
Yeah, Bobo Shanti do all them powers, they, my lord. You see, because we see from ancients of time, Bobo. Yo, Vaz, with the house of the priest, anything we bless, my lord. Stay strong and we live in love. Because I could call anyone, the Bobo them anywhere in the wall and them answer the phone and feel good for him and same way. And them can do to them and anytime, any hour, my lord. Stay strong, Bobo, more love. See you later.
My Lord.
Give thanks, my Lord, Jah Winston.
Yeah, man,
Give thanks.
Feel your Jah Winston. Feel your strong.
Rastafari. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, when we have the title of God and Goddess, you know, the same love that Christ have, that's the love that we have to have. So there ain't no two ways about it, you know. Anything less than that is not something to settle with, you know. And if it's up for us to see it in ourselves, to know, you know, this is not the way Christ would treat people, and to pray for yourself, fix yourself, rectify yourself. And when we see it in our brother and in our sister, to bring it to their attention too.
It's real. We keep looking for a solution, though. We keep searching for this solution, and the solution is simple, you know. And that's where more time, you know, that was adage, you know, wisdom is found in the simplest of place in the nick of time. Yeah, it's real. It's a simple solution, you know. The problem that the house itself is having, that the headquarters at Wolby is having, is the lack of principle. We use that word and we just apply that word to what is read in the morning at roll call. But principle it fits in many places. It covers many areas. It's multifaceted. It covers many areas of life. You know, we reinstill principle within the camp. Principle from the gate. From you reach the gate, you're supposed to start feel that principle.
Sure.
That is deterrence to evil, you know. That is deterrence to an energy, because you lock out that energy through the principle that energy come meet, you know. That first principle, when I first go to camp, that first day, when I walk up to the gate and I look and I see all these things paint up on the gate and the arch over the gate, and it just mystifying to I as a youth. You see, when the gate open, it's principle oozed out, you know. I stepped in and I felt small. I felt insignificant to the principle that I felt and saw and that was there amongst ones. The way the guard greet you, the way everyone that walking by hailed you, everyone bowed, everyone give you that blessed, and you feel the blessed love. It's not something like a dry blessed love. You understand? You feel the blessed love. You know, it's reinstilling principle. Make we reinstill principle amongst ourselves, principle in how we deal with one another. You know,
True.
You know that we're talking about love, that unconditional love. You know, make we are practicing the love that is everybody else out the road, like men and people. So we are living like them because it is showing amongst us by the results. If we are the peculiar treasure that we profess ourselves to be, that we say we are, you know, in the eyes of our Father and the Creator, then we have to have that difference in how we live. And what I got separate with principle. That is what always did separate the Bobo and Shanti, the levity, you know, in the world. Prior to all of this thing and all of this, you know, that is what attracted I and I to Dada. When I and I came to Dada, we were intelligent youth coming out of high school, you know, looking for the next level of life. And instead of going to the institutions of Babylon, I and I saw the Father. Because the Father's principles, they were attractive. He preached a liberation theology, and he didn't just preach it. When you went to the camp, when you came to the camp, you saw it in practice. The empire was moving. You saw a man doing different fields of work, you know. You saw a levity rasta. You saw a full levity. See, today we are part-time priests. We are part-time Bobo Ashanti. We are half of the other time in the world trying to achieve whatever we need to survive. Yes, but we're so part-time about the levity that it's becoming a normal way. And that is where the interactiveness come back in to be a solution. Instilling the principle, how we're going to do that, we have to help as well. All of I and I, we have to come together and empower the headquarters through whatever way we can. See, in whatever way we need to. As long as they are moving in the right direction, as long as we see them progressing in the right direction, they earn our continued support. No matter where you are as a Bobo Ashanti. Even if you're on the continent and things working good for you, you're supposed to can strengthen the headquarters because the headquarters need the strength. But as long as the headquarters is moving in that right direction. God, there's no totalitarian leadership here. There's no one individual divine person that I and I going ever bow to within this space anymore. You know, that one divine person lives within I and I right now. King Emmanuel, our Father. See, we are all brothers. We are all part of him. So it's I and I, when we sit down together to do whatever we do, whether it is to run the government, run the church, do business on behalf of ourselves and the government and whatever, we do it as brothers and sisters. No condescending hierarchy, or no, we do it as brothers and sisters, all in Christ, in the love of the Black Christ and under the blood, because the man said through the bread and through the wine, you know, see it, we partake, we become him, we become part of him. So we are part of him. So we have to reach forward to that level there, Rasta, that level of love and interaction and binding. If we want this, it's gonna take sacrifice. Are we ready to do this?
Yes.
To be that selfless, to be that selfless.
Yes.
Like Marcus Garvey asks, can you? Will you?
Yes.
Because like the man said, if you can't do it, you know, you will die. It's the same way. We are not willing to do it, the other will die. Yeah. And we will be something that they talk about that existed one time. Give thanks.
My Lord.
Yes, my Lord. Honorable Empress Leanne, and then Prophet Clarkey. The hands raised. Empress Leanne, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, my Lord and Empress, give thanks for life and the mighty life we have again. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, what is love? Let us all love, said the Most High. Selassie, Yes, my Lord and Empress. You know, Bobo Shanti culture, they say that on love hang, on love hang all Lord and prophet,
Prophet
Lord and
commandment.
right, Mama Mies. Give thanks for the strength. Yes, I. And then as I was saying, where all the commandments break down to is either one commandment or two. I think the two is love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, your mind, all these things, and love your neighbor as you love thyself. Yes,
Yeah.
as you love thyself naturally. And loving as I say, love the Lord thy God. If you really love the Lord thy God sincerely, that's like the foundation. If you really love the Lord thy God, you understand? We will have that love naturally, and it will continue going. And loving God is loving yourself. Really loving yourself. When you really take a moment, you talk about loving yourself. But if we really love yourself, to be honest, I think it's within the last couple of months, 6, 7 months, I really start to feel me. Really start to learn me and give me some attention and, that kind of way. So I myself, I think now really going through that phase of learning me and learning to love me. Not that I didn't love myself all the time, but the attention of it, I really feeling that attention of it is still, so if we love yourself, we naturally love God because God and God is within us, so from we love God and we love ourselves, we will even if not to try to love others, that will naturally flow, because it's an energy now, my Lord and Empress, That's how I just feel this still, Majesties. And love is a sacrifice too. Enough sacrifice, enough time you have to sacrifice yourself, sacrifice how you feel, sacrifice what you think how it should go, and just, allow it and see how it will go. It's a lot of sacrifice too. And you see, love, from my experience, love does tear down anything in its way. The energy of love is so strong. Whatever negative is in the way, the energy of love does tear it down. Sometimes that is all you had to feel and maintain, and it is mystically find its way and tear down any negativity in its way. Love does find love too. Love does find love. I experience that love does it is like a magnet. It is just move through and connect, no matter how far from ends of the earth. That is the energy I love, my Lord and Empress, That's the energy there that, I just feel when I give it that attention, they still too. And love does last.
To Mama.
Love does last. Love to
Mama, real love.
Yeah, love does last. It does go on. No matter how long or how far, it is just be there, like I would like to take a moment to explain that I had an experience that like that the other day. I have this friend that I grew up with since was about 14, 15, 16 years. We grew up with, and we always had this love for each other. Her name is Kimberly. She always lived in a settled home, mother, father, but my home was little, I had a single mother, so we became so much a friend. I became part of her home. I would call her mother, mommy, and daddy, and we had that love for each other. And as time go on, we separate as life go by. She became a police officer, and I became a Rasta. Joined Bobo, and this hardly see each other, hardly. But when we do see each other,
love at first sight.
Like love is like yesterday. We had to talk everything we do since it was about 13 years. And the other day she called me, you see Bobo Shanti, you see Wharf Trace, we live in Wharf Trace in Trinidad here. Besides Bobo Shanti, it have weed culture. You could weed, any weed you want, ganja, just come up here and you see the police. Mama Mays, you know what I'm talking about. It was the experience one.
Yes, I go and talk it up. Mama, I know where you're there.
Yeah, when they come in, it's like a big operation, and they send out like the whole police station. All right, when they move in, And my Lord and Empress, the other day I home here about 2 or 3 months ago, and I get a phone call. My big daughter come and say, Mama, somebody on her phone to me. I find it was who's that calling? On my daughter's phone. So when I go on my phone now, I say, blessed love. I hear, Leanne. From a time I hear the voice, I know who it is. I said, Kimmy, how you going? How you get this number? Because years we meet each other. She said she on Bobo Hill. I said, Bobo Hill? What you doing on Bobo Hill? Well, I start to think, well, what she doing up here? She said she working.
Really?
They're on a raid, you know? But yet still she looking to call me because she know I there. So I said, what kind of work you doing? She said she down the hill by the Bobo shop, and the water company in the area doing some work, and the police come to guard them to make sure will it go on good. So it was no raid. And my Lord and Empress, I dropped everything I do and I went down the hill and I meet his daughter. And we had a way when he was young, we used to be, every time we walk the road, we hug up. And she was in her full uniform from head to toe, police officer, gun, everything on her. And I was in my full Bobo attire. And we spent like about 4 or 5 hours right up my Bobo shop there. And it was the strangest thing to see this Bobo daughter and this police officer actually walking the road hugging up. It's like we went back to the teenager days. It's like that love just lasting, that
Yes, I.
difference between
Oh,
Babylon and Rasta.
Yes, I.
yeah,
That
Right,
couldn't
you
be
know?
said that
great
dog,
story.
you know?
Man of right, you know?
Good
Yes, I.
testimony. Good
Yeah, man.
testimony.
Love
Keep
conquer all.
lasting.
Yeah,
Yes,
man. Love
I.
conquer.
Love
Rasta.
does last. Love tears down anything in its way until you know I was even introduced her to a couple of priests that was down the hill, and it's like everyone was in a one. Is love did that. You understand, my Lord and Empress?
Love great,
And
mama.
Yes, Sister Leanne.
Love great.
Them kind of love them in 1 year. But
Yeah, man. That's
yeah,
true, man. Inspiration, you know.
respect.
real love, you know.
I will true, Mama, my Lord, give thanks and respect. Just how I say, we have to love self, we have to respect ourselves. If we respect ourselves, we wouldn't disrespect other.
No one else.
In the integrity
Sure.
and respect for yourself, that will naturally goes out. Then it's all different levels of disrespect. And people will disrespect you emotionally, spiritually. All you need, they will just find a way to disrespect you, just the energy. And disrespect is such a hurtful feeling. If you know, I hate that spirit. It's that spirit that disrespect and deceit. I hate them two spirit bad. I don't like disrespect at all. Because disrespect just hurt people. You know what is to do somebody something when they look upon their countenance and their whole vibe, they feel hurt and belittled. Them thing no nice feeling on. No? Yes, I so it starts from within self because we just always talk love. That's one of the first things you just learn when you come here. You may even feel it. But we need to make it last. Find the ways to make it last. You know,
That's
so
what it is, sister. That's what do it, you know.
talk too long.
Thanks to Bobo here, you know?
Starting somewhere. You know?
Give thanks to Bobo here, you know? Give thanks to Bobo here.
My Lord.
Yeah. If that love even start right here, even though we are separate, but we are still together, we have to start somewhere. That re-establishing of the love, because that love always exists. But that re-establishing of that level of love, that level of respect. You know, I and I who are part of this conversation today, we have to look at it as being what we say, what we are saying, that change that we want to see in our house, in our order. We have to be part of that change by being part of what we are speaking about. Living that real love, that unconditional love, you know, respecting one another, you know. We have to really put it into real practice and not just make it be a topic for the day and then tomorrow we'll move on to another topic, but we don't implement, you know, the resolutions of the reasoning.
My Lord, blessed love, honorable.
Mama, go ahead, Mama.
Yes.
After you
My Lord, speaking on a personal note, speaking of myself here, you know, I try not to disrespect my brothers and sisters. I try to live the best way or I can live because I know when
Empress, you muted yourself. Empress Maisie, you muted.
Our energy so
yeah,
strong.
you know, when you disrespect me, when you disrespect your brother or your sister or even your parents or somebody, look for somebody coming to disrespect you forward. Right? Right?
Hey.
So I try my best. You know, from I was a child growing up, my mother and my father, well, I'm my mother, because my father left me when I was 4 to England. So my brought up was with my mother. And she tried to instill the respect and manners. Because they used to say, if you don't have no respect and manners, no matter what you have, you are not going nowhere.
Nowhere.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And then I come and get the teaching from my father, King Emmanuel. And I have a king man who respect me and I respect him. Right? We not say teeth and tongue no meet, yes. But the respect, do not disrespect. You understand? So I try my best to manifest the love and the respect. Even though, you know, when you hand it out, when you hand out the love more time, it back by you, lick your back from the same people who you show love and minister love to, but you don't stop.
True.
You continue on.
Very true.
You continue on. Yeah? Because it's not those that you show love to or minister love to. It's those who you never show love. It's them coming back to respect and show love to you, my
Big
Lord.
sound. Big sound, mama. Big sound.
Yeah.
Big
so I give thanks. I am not perfect, but I try to live within the love and unity and respect, my Lord. Give thanks, Bobo.
Yes, thank
Blessed love.
Blessed love.
God said nothing else can carry, just love, you know. Prophet Clark, you had your hand up, my Lord. Can you unmute yourself and speak?
My Lord and Empress, powers. My Lord, again, within the reason, I just want to probably input still, my Lord, that the attribute of love just go with other attributes where they strengthen it, just like how the commandment is the foundation, but it have principles, as the priest say, you know, and it have the law and the statutes and the ordinances to strengthen it. So it, you know, love is an attribute. Now, trust, just go with love, you know, because with love now, sometimes you come and give someone your heart, you know. When you give someone now your heart now, you come like, you know, you trust them within to make sure that, you know, they deal with the equality and just, and then now they come and hurt you within a move. So it tends now within that building back now, they got to build back trust with love. You know, so the question now was asked now concerning with the actions, my Lord. You know, because you must see action if such, you know, manifestation is to come forward within the forgiving part of life now. You know, as the atonement, as the priest say, you know, you must see the actions. So, you know, one got to build back the trust with the love just natural. And the principle, my Lord, within the honorable, with the priest say now, that man has to hold back principle, my Lord. You know, and read back and get back that strength is a seizure thing. You understand? Me to really build back that kind of, you know, firmness and equality with the love and respect. So the principle now is coming in the Bible and the hymn book to practice it. Because it's not a saying word, it's a doing attribute, my Lord. Christ proved it, so we ought to prove it to one another. Because if a man say he love God and he hate a brother, just say he's a liar, you know.
Murder.
Just if a man love God, say he love God and hate his brother, He's a liar.
It is a
Because
strong word, my lord.
you understand me? He say, he that loveth not his brother, how come who he had seen? How come he love God who he had not seen yet? So that is something we man have to know, that love is an attribute, my Lord. You have to show it, my Lord. It's real. You know, so it's just my few words, my Lord. Love just go with the attribute of trust, my Lord. But they that trust in the Lord shall be like monks and which cannot be removed, but abide forever, my Lord. Selassie, Jah. That's I love to the house, my Lord.
My Lord, give thanks, Honorable. Even in, reasoning, respect is a key ingredient, If you're making noise when people are talking, if you're talking over people when they're speaking, if you disregard people's points, you try to make people feel small and unintelligent when they talk and stuff like that. That's disrespectful. And it creates bad vibes and war, Just the basic things that we do amongst each other requires principle, and love has to be the guiding light for everything, every move we make, every word that we speak, yeah.
See, love, love create, love never destroy, Love create. Because if your mommy never say that, you never know, you might not be here today, It's what song and powers, I do give thanks same way, for the reason and the topic of love, same way, but love is something that you can't really find a measure for, and it's an no-ending word, and it's from creation, Because a man make a mistake, same way he may say something, and he's still even conscious to the fullest, that what he say in the time he said, So when you look on yourself now, you have to remember, see, every man you see stand before you is God. You see it, because him create all of it, him create people. And from you start to respect yourself and love yourself, you respect all people, my lord. Look at Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey say, look at Johnny Walker. He's still going, but he's strong same way, So he talk about the man in the community where everyone will say, look at Mr. Swanso is a good man, Mr. Swanso is a good man, Mr. Swanso is a good man. Everyone have to talk good of this individuals, as they see it. So the love we carry within ourselves now is it's way past even because we love everyone. Bobo Shanti love everyone. Bobo Shanti, okay, where man may want to see how man may want to act within the Congress. In order to come to accept Bobo, you have to have that love. That love. What I notice? Saying your praise, Jehovah's faithfulness at night and loving kindness every morning. That's where I man no same way. Anytime you miss your praise, you don't feel the energy and the power of the earth during the day. Jehovah's, because sometimes you pray in the morning and you ain't pray in the night. You ain't balancing creation. Sometimes you might chat by a brother and the hour reach, he don't even study the hour reach, Another man went there and just get up and run down in the area and start to block the creed already, because him fager, him nudger, So it's when ones and ones with Bobo Shanti's pray. Sometimes you see the Congress going certain how it's because ones and ones ease up in them praying. Ones and ones sometimes don't want to reach home to pray in the hour. Them don't want to rise up to read Psalms. Within them own a house too, because we talk house of Israel, so we don't mean times to come a share up Meshach and Abednego. Every powers are going to create from inside the house too, So it's ones and ones they really want to hold a power. Because Emmanuel say lock up in your bedroom and keep the Sabbath. Because you might go outside on the Sabbath and mash your hands. Simple as the Satan sin. So it's a power where we find a power in love, within our commandment, within our sincerity, our kindness, for each and every one. Because praise connect, Praise connect. And if you ain't praying, because this is how we chat as Bobo. We fast and pray. This is Bobo Shanti, there's a meditation order, which is the mind, We rule the mind, we rule the heavens, we rule the earth, we rule everything. So you have to be praying, because that's where the man comes setting up. The man is in knees of Ethiopia, If you check the Ethiopia calendar, you over the seat. Naphtali, January, the man is in knees, which is the house of the priest, And when you collaborate all of them together, it's only two of them carrying the love, which is Naphtali and Judah. Faculties is love, you know. Them born so, King Emmanuel born so, you know. This is where rise thy powers, you know. King Emmanuel born so. When I looking for the man, I see Ethiopia don't see the man too, you know. And the man come and set everything to you over the 7, you know. God the man, you know. So if you ain't praying, you ain't gonna see what you're supposed to see, you know. Go to your bed, as King Man tell you, go to your bed sometime at 10 o'clock. You over and rise up 12 o'clock and prep on the hour. And you go see if you don't vision Selassie and Emmanuel. Because Holy Emmanuel is Selassie, Rastafari, is the Almighty God, you know. No man can go wrong that. Because no man can go to the Father, but to the Son. King Emmanuel is the shepherd. And when you burn chalice and you hold meditation, and you see it in Zion, Selassie stand up by the side of the throne. King Emmanuel sit down on the throne in Zion in 2 robes. My Lord.
Can seal up the, you know, because it's kind of getting away from the topic still. My Lord.
Give thanks. I just showing you now the power I love now, which is the kneel and praise. Now we're going to react you over the golden globe of the earth now. It's because you're praying. So that song now within the atmosphere now. Look at the fire. You know, man does see fire and all them things, but the fire get conquered too. The fire don't get conquered too, because when John the Baptist baptized Christ 2,000 years ago, Jehovah's Christ go on to him, Emmanuel go on to him and show him, say, well, give thanks to the man full of cleanse, Jehovah's. But then when they look upon it, he show him, say, well, one go come in the other, when not even the water could baptize him out the fire, but truth and righteousness. It's only one man come in this time to show for truth and righteousness. It's still a CI through the liberty of King Emmanuel. Because we have to live the liberty of King Emmanuel to preserve the liberty of Selassie. If we don't live the liberty of King Emmanuel, we cannot connect with the liberty of Selassie. It's a collaboration. So we give thanks for the reason, my lad, because I don't want to take up too much of the time. Because when Bobo Shanti are reason and start to reason, sometimes we reason till morning, and my lad. You know,
it have no end. It not have no end.
Because it's so sweet and joyful, my lad. We just reason. So give thanks to all ones and ones. Let we not just keep it on the forum and the platform here, but we keep it that love always for each other, real for each other. Then we ain't go and slander we brother behind we back or we sister behind we back. You over say, here man with a negative, they say, blessed love, my lad. You don't know you ain't interacting, no. You ain't interacting, no kind of conversation with him. And you're gone. But sometimes we sit and interact in conversation, and in the conversation we interact now, we even put ourselves in serious thinking. Because the minute we start to interact with other people and other things, we forget to give thanks. That is the moment when we ain't giving thanks. And I, Winston, I was giving thanks every moment. I was beating Babylon for the hour. Every hour, I must prep on the head of it. You know, I beat Psalms upon the head. Because we come here for fulfill the prophecy. A psalm. Give thanks to the reason, my lord. More love and more strength.
Blessed.
Prosperity. See that.
Honorable Empress Cindy, you have your hand up. You can unmute yourself.
Give thanks for life and the mighty life giver. We've been talking about love for one another in terms of actions. Now, what about, I'm posing this question to the house here. What about telling our brethren and our sisters that we love one another?
Yes,
How important is that?
Yes.
You know, on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, because we don't get to, you know, converse with one another all the time. And I feel that sometimes people may not know that you love them because you ain't saying it to them. So how important is it to utter those words to, you know, your brethren and your sisters when you speak to them? Give thanks.
True. May I say something, Daniel?
Yes, you may.
Just a start something. Just to straight back what Sister Cindy said for reality.
Go through.
Empress, that's true, eh? Whenever time I am talking to my brothers and sisters, on the end of a conversation, I said, love you, sis. I love you, my brother. You know, take care. Yes, reach out with love. Tell them we love them, man. Yeah, and then tell me, say, me loving her. Sometimes my spirit down, you know, very down. And just want somebody to say, Mama Maisie, I love you. Love your mama.
Sure.
You know, even the people when they have dreadlocks on them head. And me and them are brethren. Right?
True.
And when they call me, you know, and in the end of a conversation, they say, Mama, love you, Mama. You take care, love you. And I said the same thing back onto them. I said, love you too, sis. Yeah. So we must tell one another, true sister Cindy say, me love you. Me tell Jordan and all the while, say, me love you, my son. Yeah. Me tell everybody, say, me love them.
Yes, yeah, they're going to come, Mama. They're going to come through. It's safe with the numbers, phone numbers. All of I and I must have one another phone numbers, you know, and we can link one another certain times, you know, we can link, we can reason, and loyal telephone. It's a loyal telephone. We can link, you know, because it go keep us comfortable, you know. You see, and if we're in the small island and them and we planting ginger, we send half sack of ginger to the foundation, we send this, we send that, we keep that connection. You know, we keeping that connection of love, you know, and we linking and we saying, blessed love, give thanks to the man in uprising. You know, some of the people, them now, some of them turn off the phone.
Yeah, Winston cut me up, but it's all right.
You will see, I ain't gonna cut you, Mama. You will see that love. You will see that love within the connection same way, you know. So, Mama, we will just give thanks to the award, Mama.
My brethren, them, all of my brethren and sister were on this study group today. Empress Maisie love all of the item and everyone who know the panel. I love the item. You see it, the heart of love to the item.
Mama Maisie, your love concrete. Mama Maisie, your love concrete.
Straight.
Heart of love, Mama. Heart of love too.
Let's love.
Straight,
My
Mama.
Lord.
I love you, Empress Maisie.
I love you too, my sister.
Mama, come to Jordan here, my Lord.
My Lord.
Yes, my Lord. No, but just seek love. Yes, my Lord.
Love in the house.
We love you, my Lord.
Blessed love.
Love in the house.
Love.
Whole of the love. Whole of the love.
Mama. Heart of love, Mama. Love the Mama.
Yes, I love you, my Lord. Love
blessed love,
Lord.
Man. Love.
Love
That I would have said, you know, that I would have said, love, you
my
know.
Lord, love you too, my Lord.
Yeah, them feel them energy there. The eye them really feel it.
Yeah, man.
And this is what that I would have said. Love, Empress.
Love you too, my Lord.
Yeah, love my Lord. Feeling my Lord. This is the month of God, you know, so feeling the eye them too, my Lord, you know.
Energy. New Year. Blessed New Year celebration. Rolling from the Bobo study group right now.
Yes, Mama. Thanks for the love, Mama.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the love.
I must always remember that we are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors, you know.
Yes.
Great ones who have done great things with nothing, you know, on our behalf, that we could be here doing whatever we are doing. You know, see it. And you know, for that sake, we have to always put out our best. You know. And as the children of our Father, we must always show His greatness through our love.
Sure.
Our love.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Joy in Mount Zion,
Rastafari.
Over Shanti,
Empress Leanne, you have your hand up. You can reason, Empress. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, my Lord and Empress. I wouldn't be long. I just wanted to support what Empress Cindy was saying and Empress Maisie was saying. Yeah, it is important to tell each other we love each other, man.
Sure.
That is very, very important. The other day, Empress Maisie, I tell Priest Solomon I love him. Priest Solomon, two knees get weak, you know, on the spot, you know, Empress.
How you mean, Sister Leanne? How you mean? Yeah, man.
We to tell each other we love each other is beautiful. Give thanks, my Lord.
Are you when you see him pass on the love there for me too, yeah?
And you might go long, Empress.
Yeah, to love feels good, and to be loved feels even better, you know?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I heard someone say, it might have even been in the study group, you know? Somebody said, with man receives, and it was like something like Jah gives and forgives, but man receives, and still it was, I don't remember what it was, but basically the point is that, you know, Jah, his love for us, we can't even really, it's hard for us to really, like, it's easy to love someone who loves you and is being nice to you. It's not so easy when the person is hurting you, or when the person is mean, or the person is not a good person in general. It's not easy to love that person, but you must, you know. Yeah. Priest Jermaine, you have your hand up, my Lord. You can unmute yourself and speak.
Blessed love, my Lord and Majesty, Empress, you know. I just
My
want
Lord.
to enter, you know, that the topic today is really, really good. And I love where we're
Yes.
going.
Love
I
it.
love all the reasoning, all the input so far. You know, and as the man said, I'm going to say again, 7 words of love. If God is love, let us all love. Love is the
Yes,
first
Daddy.
of all laws.
To
So you
priest.
just operate within that. No, we never would have no need for other commandments. You know what I mean? God has just laid down the man.
Oh, Priest, unmute yourself, my Lord. Priest Jermaine.
Pardon, my touched the button there, you know. Yeah, like I was saying, you know, like give thanks for the man bringing forward that love. You check, because there would have never been no need
We
for
love him, we love him.
as he had taught us from before. So we give thanks that Prince Emmanuel could have come forward and teach us how to love within ourselves, because the camp setting is what bring forward that we was in camp in one place. We had no reason, we had no other reason but to love one another. You check? Yeah, but true now that camp setting break down and we live in various places and we don't even see one another like that anymore.
We'll build it up again, man. We are going to build it up stronger than before. New Jerusalem.
Would break down the love, you know, but give thanks that we here on the study group. We could even come together from different places in the earth and reason about such topics, you know what I mean? So give thanks for the love, and I love all of my brothers and all of my sisters, them universally. My Lord, I give thanks.
My Lord, give thanks.
Let's love, priest. Give thanks to the love, my Lord.
There, my Lord. The whole of the love. The whole of the love. Peace and love. The whole of the love. We love him. And we love him. We love him.
You know, with the concept of ma'at, you know, from Kemet, still with the when one leaves their flesh, right? The way that they have it, you know, portrayed in the artwork in the temples or whatnot, is that your heart is put on a scale, you know, and it has to be lighter than a feather. Now, that doesn't mean your physical heart they're going to take out of your chest and put it on a scale, but to say grudge and hatred is heavy on the heart, you know. Love and good deeds, loyalty, those things make your heart light. Clean hands and pure in heart to see God in ourselves, you know. Yeah.
You see one Simon out from my mother and I never do no wrong. Jehovah's and I never hurt no one, I never fight physically neither, hit no one. Because Emmanuel said from I hit black people, judgment now begin. You see from I never fight since I know myself, I'm 54. I never hit no man, I never go courthouse, I never get locked up, no police never hold on when I carry, no Rasta Jehovah's. Should a principle, like Barnard and I keep is Bobo Shanti from my 5 years I depend on his spirit.
True,
My
my Lord.
and then my love teacher. So we give thanks again for love.
Give thanks, honorable. Yeah, you know, we're the time now, you know. We could have closing remarks if anyone has anything they wanted to say in closing, anything that they didn't get to say that they wanted to say. Floor is open, you know, but we keep it, you know, within a short time and still, you know, to be able to finish up the program still.
Your Majesty, I do give thanks to this today period of reasoning on the Bobo study group. You know, it is an enlightening one. You know, I give thanks to all my brothers and sisters, you know, who reason, and give thanks to their input, you know, about love and respect, my Lord. So I'm telling, you know, the idea, blessed new year, you know, and each year, you know, we must turn over a new page, you know, as every year we draw more nearer home, and all blessing, all prosperity to one and all, and just continue to do the good. Remember, the good is of God, and we must love our brother and love our sister and everybody around us, no matter who, because we are one people. And they might not have rust upon them head, but you don't know how the hearts stay. See it. So let us minister love, to each and every one. Most High, Selassie, Jah.
Yeah, Rastafari.
I give thanks to the host of the program, Jah Daniel. More power to you, my Lord, more strength. And I ask the Father to ever continue to strengthen the eye that this program can continue, my Lord and Empress. Jah, Rastafari, give thanks.
Give thanks
Blessed
to
love.
Empress Maisie, I give thanks for the ability to host it, but I give thanks greatly for everyone that come, it wouldn't be a study group if it was just me alone, so I give thanks for everyone who every Sunday, not to say every Sunday, but it's usually the same people that's coming on the program. So I give thanks for everyone that is a regular, but I also give thanks for ones and ones who watch on YouTube, that reason even in the chat room, but sometimes it may be a group of people watching it together. So I hope that what we speak of and hear is beneficial to all of them as well. Yeah, and as the priest said, let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Jah Rastafari, our strength and our Redeemer. Yeah, the floor is still open. Yeah, ones and one. You don't have to really raise your hand right now. It's just don't speak over no one. Allow ones and ones to talk, and then free up still.
Thanks for the reasoning and the majesty. Give thanks for the topic, my Lord, the consideration and keeping the topic, beautiful topic, go through, my Lord. A good thing for me to really practice love and strength. I want to read, get it perfect in it still, as we know, try love those who, just be unfair to us and still not stupid, not a stupid love, a fool love, but a love still, that come out on the bright side is still, And I hear priest is Douglas or something like that, man, talking about the day of atonement, the day of healing. Yes, I think that is a good idea, my Lord. That is a very good idea. Bring hearts and hearts together, my Lord, and as a way of starting, and you really lead, my Lord.
I'll give thanks and rest. Yes, hopefully that can be a reality sometime, not just an idea, but something we can make it happen.
Sure. Yeah. It's up to I and I, Lent is coming, so a good time for that to be an end when we break our fast. We are ready to take on the next level of our journey. Sure. Moment to start an atonement, so we're moving into this physical year now with a fresh start, with motivation. As I closing sound, I would encourage my family, my Bobo family, to let us work, diligently, and loyally to rebuild structure in the Congress, so the Congress can become functional, And remember, it is not what the Congress can do for I and I, it's what I and I come to do for the Congress, to be a part of its development, So if we keep that in mind, we owe a 10 part of our life, call it that way, our tithes, to the Congress, what the Congress is, the government, what the government do. It makes sure so the church is there for the people and the people's spiritual and, tangible needs are met. So let us put back structure where these things can be done. And we just not only talk the love, but we live the love and become an example of that love. You understand? Yes, sir.
Yes.
I man,
Give
give
thanks.
thanks again for the word of the priest. My Lord, I give thanks again for the love. My Lord, I dip on it, you know. I billing, I try billing house and thing, and I save in the papers, my Lord, because I'm coming forward for you, even, you know, do some work in the camp as a builder and even set certain things in the camp, even fix roads, and I'm working towards them things because that is my declaration, right, man, right, eh? Jehovah's and the priest them tell I man, if I man fulfill the words go be a burden unto I man. So I man have to fulfill these words. So that's why I man the out here. Jehovah's is just for the betterment of Jerusalem. But give I man little time within the future now. Jehovah's because I don't forget Jerusalem no time at all, you know. Yes, you don't know my tongue with clip to the roof of my mouth same way. So my lad, it's just to the powers, you know. I dip on it, Bobo. I know it's just a time, you know, and the right time is just the right time, you know, and enough things happening and it look away, but that is one of my goal as an international builder, you know. So I give thanks even for the reason of love. So give thanks to the people in the foundation who really holding it over like Empress Maisie and other people who holding the power of the foundation to make Bobo Hill react 4 wings. Yeah, when the time come, I go, you know, contribute in such way that we can have things, you know, we can have even our shoes place, open up, you know, Empress Canadian, and we're working towards even developing certain work so that we can fulfill this duty in the camp, you know, in a righteous way, you know, not through things that King Emmanuel don't want we to do and we do and achieve money. No, we ain't chatting that way. Everything have to come fulfilling the power of King Emmanuel, you know. So it's just the timing. So we just have to press along, saint, press along, my Lord and Empress. Love and strength in the house, Bobo. See you later.
Give thanks, my Lord.
Love is the highest frequency, and that's what we should all be striving to attain and keep. Give thanks to Jah Daniel for bringing forth this beautiful topic today. Give thanks to all honorables on this forum that we could share our thoughts and opinions on this topic. Love to all of you, no matter where you may be, and love to everyone on YouTube as well, and all the ones who weren't able to join us today. And also love to the Congress and those ones and ones on Bobo Hill as well. Give thanks and Happy New Year.
Yes.
The Lord and Majesty, give thanks once more for the celebration, Heart and New Year coming in, and give thanks once more for the topic. It was very wonderful reasoning upon this today. You know, I want to strengthen what Priest Dougie was just saying about, you know, the reason for I fasting, and let it be, you know, to build forward. Because sometimes we just fast, you know, when the fasting period coming up, and like my Lord said, we don't really have a united reason why we fasting. But let it be this year, you know, that we have a reason, and the reason is to love and respect one another more and build forward that love more again, you know. Most High,
So that's
Yeah.
my Lord and Majesty.
Well, the item here, the bridge, and declare it. And I need to pass that sound around. Every man need to pass that sound around to every Bobo that you communicate with. That on this journey, this fast, that's the general theme of this fast. Since no one else has come up and proposed that theme, well, this group is proposing the theme for this Lent fast. And I love that, Bridget. We are declaring that as the theme for this Lent fast.
Please, I could say that again for me. I could get it clear, my Lord. Pardon.
Yeah, the theme. The Bridget just proposed the theme. Yeah, fasting is an art. Hear this little bit of information. Fasting is not just to abstain from eating or drinking. Fasting is an order. You fast for a purpose and a reason. When you fast in unity, this is Dada teaching now. This is verbatim. This is not from Priest Dougie. This is Dada's teaching. When you fast for a reason, that's why I'm called 40-day fast. That's why I'm called 21-day fast. When there is a barrier, an obstacle standing before us that threatens our being, he calls for a 40-day fast, because during that 40-day fast, we are fasting with a theme in mind, a theme. So the theme that we are proposing for this year's Lent fast is that love and respect. We re-embrace it in the truest sense of the words, as a house, so we can find back that collective healing among ourselves, And then when we end the Lenten fast, we will propose that day of atonement, that final day when we truly release all negative energy from out of our interior, our inner God. Release it and stop make it build as that cancer, that disruptor in our soul. Bless.
To add to that, to my Lord, here sitting down and meditating, like, if you have a wrong, if you have something with a one, an empress, or it don't matter who it is, go and make it right with that person during this Lent season as well, too, Call out that person, shout to that person, and make it right again, and let's build forward the love again, Yes, my Lord, Majesty.
Glorify. Empress Leanne, you had something you want to say, Empress? Empress Leanne?
My Lord?
Yes, sir. You wanted to speak?
No, Majesty, I just supporting little talk here, my Lord. No, my Lord, it's okay. Heart of Shanti, Majesty. Happy New Year to everyone, my Lord. Blessed love.
Honorable.
Same to you, Sister Leanne, and the family over in Trinidad. Bless.
Yeah, love. In the house.
Yeah, man. Love, love, love.
Yeah,
Happy and holy New Year's 2023. Give thanks. To our God and His Spirit, the Lord is in the midst. We give thanks for this study group, all brethren and sisters, heart of love. Give thanks for the love God is still upon us. God so loved us, He sent His own anointed Son, the Black Christ, to die for us, so we can get eternal life. So we give thanks for such a love, the love of Christ. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Bless.
Yes, sir. Anyone else before we seal up?
Daniel.
Honorable.
My Lord.
Go ahead, my brethren. Go ahead.
No, priest, go through, man. I wanted to say blessed love, blessed heart of love. Give thanks for the new year. Love, love, love. Nothing carry more than love. Holy Emmanuel, I. Selassie,
Jah, Rastafari.
Yeah, Daniel, I am proposing as we enter the Lent too, that one of our topics be health and wellness, from a real standpoint, a scientific and biological standpoint. As we go on our Lent journey, part of receiving what Lent does for us is it cleanses us both spiritually and temporally, and it builds our endurance, our inner strength. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So as we go through, we must prepare to do that. It's not just to withstand, because when you break your fast, you have to make sure that we have nutritious food to replace and replenish what we have released, So part of it's in the preparation. So these things we need to discuss and learn and be on one page as a house, that we do things properly and get the full benefit from what we do, and we're not doing it just haphazardly and just thinking that we are gaining from it, when we can gain much more, because like I said, it's a spiritual and temporal cleanse, and we are part of the function of the Congress, Bobo Hill. It's a cleansing ground. It is for you to purge out the infirmities that we adopt daily, weekly, monthly, as we move through this corrupt society in which we live. Both mentally from what we see and hear, and even physically from the water, air, and food. It's a moment of getting rid of that. So let's do it with a purpose and understand how we truly do it. Yes, I.
My Lord. Yes, I regarding the schedule of the topics, The next two strongs, we'll be talking about repatriation. But then the following one, we will begin to reason about Lent. And we could make that topic, health and nutrition, the first one, so we could have that knowledge going into the fasting season. And throughout Lent, we can discuss other aspects of Lent, and coming up to the resurrection, we can touch on the resurrection, crucifixion, and resurrection of Christ.
What date Lent start, my lord? What date?
March 2nd, my lord. That's Ash Wednesday, March 2nd. And going into April 15th, I want to say.
So my lord, give thanks to the Lord, my lord.
My lord. Yes, my lord and empress. Is there anyone else?
Prior to March 2nd, we need to discuss the order of fasting for the Lent as well. So we are on the order, because like I say, it's an order, and ones might not understand the full order because there is more than one choice to the duration of the Lent fast. It's according to certain realities that we are facing that make the Father choose one order, one format of Lent fast versus another. So all of those things we need to discuss and understand.
All right, so yeah, the 27th of February, we'll set the date for that, the initial Lent reasoning study, So yeah, the next two strongs is repatriation. Then the 27th, we begin to talk about Lent. But to seal up our topic for today, not to get too off on that, we can reason about them things in the study group, WhatsApp group. And you'll let it be known here though, on live, that's what the topics will be. So those that's watching, when to tune in if you want to hear about Lent fasting and all of that stuff. Yeah, if anyone else had anything, to say and shortly, then we can hear them, and then we'll close the reasoning still.
Love. I just want to say love and more love to everybody on here. More love to the host, Four wings of the earth, and I just want to give thanks. Every time we reason, it builds more strength, Blessed love.
My Lord. All right. Well, yeah, give thanks then. Just, seal up. I would like to seal up with this one last little piece of scripture there, and then I'll give it to Priest Dougie to say the closing prayer. And continuing from the first epistle of John, chapter 4 now, verse 16, actually 15, I'll start with 15. Whosoever shall confess that Jesus, that Christ, is the Son of God, God dwelleth in him, and he in God. And we have known and believed the love that God hath to us. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. We love him because he first loved us. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, who he hath not seen? And this commandment hath we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Honorable Priest Dougie, you can seal it up, my Lord.
Yes, my Lord. And then I will say, glory be unto our Father, unto his Son, and to the Holy One of creation. As Jah was in, now he's now, but shall be, world without end. Our God, Selassie, you can curb God, Rastafari is the Almighty God. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. We beseech thee, O Father, for thy mercy and thy love. We ask thee to bind our hearts closer together, to teach us to love one another as thou love us, to do unto one another as we would have each other, as each would have ones do to them, so we can practice and gain the benefit of thy love, not through I and I, but because of thy first love, loving I and I. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie,
Jah,
Rastafari, give thanks.
Thanks, my Lord. Give thanks, honorable royal family. Give thanks for the study group. Give thanks for those watching the study group on YouTube now and in the future. Give thanks for all good things said and done, you know. And we pray that as we leave this study group with this message of love, that we will, you know, perfect it within ourselves and share it abroad. Yes, So this is the African Liberation Network. I'm the host, Prophet Daniel, and this is the Bobo Shanti International Study Group. Give thanks again, my Lord and Empress, all strength and powers, all guidance and protection going out, coming in, this time, henceforth, even forevermore. Most High, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.